Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for round 8 of Super Rugby Pacific, the first game that we are seeing Highlanders versus MOANA Pasifika. The Highlanders, the only side in this competition yet to get themselves a win, but that could change in this game, although MOANA Pasifika have been looking pretty strong recently, so we will have to wait and see whether or not that is the case. But this is the table, the way that it sits. It's actually 11 versus 12 for this matchup, so you could say to the naked eye, it doesn't look like there's a lot on the line, but whoever wins this game will be going up to probably 9th place, to be fair, and that would be a massive jump up and gets them back into the top 8 contention. But if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We will be looking through both of these starting lineups and reserves for these two sides, and we will start with the home side. In the Highlanders, we have got Paddy Wagon and also Crazy and Zed are already in the chat. Welcome in, and hi, bro. How are you? Says Max. I'm doing very well. Excited. We got so much rugby, so much just in general, whether it's this competition, the Sevens, the URC, the European Champions Cup, everything's going on at the moment in the rugby world, including the fact that my headphones are starting to break, which is unfortunate as well. And Rio Game said, Che, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well and been in ISO since Monday. So hopefully you haven't gotten too bored. Have you been able to find plenty of things to do while you've been in isolation? And Dan Carter just kicked 598 goal kicks in 24 hours. Very impressive from that man. I know that he was trying to match every single point that he's got throughout his career. So I know that he brought in quite a few friends, including Leon McDonald. I did see at one point having a few kicks off the tee, but this is a starting lineup for the Highlanders. Ethan de Groot, Andrew Makaleo, and Jermaine Ainsley. They are going to be the front row. Then Manakai Selby-Rickett and Josh Dixon slotting in there as the two locks. Shannon Frizzell, James Lynches, and Marino Makale too. Those three are going to be dangerous in this one. Definitely, I feel James Lynches will have a lot to prove here up against MOANA Pasifika and Pasifika MOANA. And there says Dougie Moy and that one. Hopefully I pronounced that last name correctly. Do let me know if I have got that wrong. But Aaron Smith starting at 9, Mitch Hunt at 10, Scott Gregory and Fatuli Paya making up the midfield. And then from there, it is going to be Mosisi Dawai, Sam Gilbert, I should say, and then Connor Garden Bishop. That's on it. Fullback. We've actually got a donation from Xavier. Thank you very much, mate. It is since headphones starting to break, headphone fund in there as well. I guess it's another fun that has started up, and you'll be catching up with my bookwork for my electrical apprenticeship. So hopefully it does all go well for yourself. That's the thing. If you're in isolation, have you used the time wisely? Because I know that sometimes when you get like a holiday or something from school, like normally that's the time that you want to do a whole heap of stuff and you just don't get any of it done. I have been there many times, and Islanders will win tonight, says Max Cottle for that one. But this is the MOANA Pasifika starting lineup and reserves for this one as well. Right, we will quickly go like this, Xavier. We'll put it back up in a very short moment, but we better quickly show the MOANA Pasifika bottom three that they have got. But first of all, the front row, Ezekiel Lindenmouth, Latero Tole, and Sakopi Kepu as the front row. Then it is Polanaiti and Samuel Slade, starting in at 5 and 4, Solomoni Funaki, Alamana Matanga, and then Pinatoa Finau. So they've actually decided to go against having the likes of a Henry Stowers, and I believe they'll be saving him for the next match that they have got, which is actually on Tuesday. So not too far away for themselves. And also, here we go. Salutations to all. Excuse my fancy way of saying hi. See, Sammy Sosa there as well. That is very fancy. So salutations to yourself as well. What does salutations mean? Probably just hi, isn't it? Or welcome or something along those lines. And I says Jason, welcome in. And me, Hamish, hey, Hamish, me and Reed were in some team in laser tag, or in the same team for laser tag. How'd you end up going? Did you end up winning for that one in Hurricanes or Crusaders? It's a great question. For me, I'm feeling Crusaders, but it could be Hurricanes, to be honest, because they have got their home field advantage at Sky Stadium, and they do absolutely love a home game. Iritara Inari slotting in there at number 9, Christian Liliafano at 10, Danny Tawala, Levi Amua as a midfield with the dangerous speed and power of Levi Amua. He is going to be one to watch out for. And then if it's just not quite enough power and speed for you, Tava Nawai out on the left wing, Tima Whainanuku out on the other, and then William Havili will be there at number 15 for this game. And Ollie Wilson has said, yep, and there as well. Nonetheless, that is the starting lineup for both of these sides. Now we look through at the reserves quickly, and they are going to be as follows. There we go. Reece Marshall, Aidan Johnson, and then it will be Ma'u there at number 18. Sam Hicks, it's actually Max Hicks there on debut for this game for the Highlanders. Gareth Evans for Lau Whakatava brings that intensity to the later stages of a game. And then Vilamoni Karoi, Denny Solomona as two back replacements that they have got. Then for MOANA Pasifika, it will be Sam Molly, Abraham Pole, and then also it is Chris Apua as the front row. Ngakuru slots in at 19. Sione Tuipolotu is there. Jonathan Tamatene and then Alinka McClutchy and Finney Anisi as the other 2 men that they have gone with for this matchup off their bench. And also, we will put that one back up. And also, we have got who's playing instead of Caleb Clark for the Blues against the Chiefs. It is going to be Mark Talia, who is actually going to be slotting in there. And also, speaking of headphones, I can see why you need new ones, Hamish. And there says Semi Souza. Although it might be because it looks like they're see-through from certain angles, but it's actually the inner headphone part that's kind of wearing away. I'm not too sure what side it's on that it's really bad. I think it might be this side that's kind of wearing away quite badly. That your ear's pretty much just on the speaker, I guess you could say. And also now Kane's all day. And there says Paddy Wagon for who will be able to get the win. But we are covering that game tomorrow. Alongside that one, we will also be covering the matchup that has taken place between the Chiefs and the Blues, Fiji and Roy and the Brumbies, and then the 2 URC fixtures alongside sevens that will be taking place in the little gaps that we have got. And earlier on, before Super Rugby gets underway, that will be where our concentration is. And then alongside that, if that's not enough rugby that we have got for the next couple of days, we will also be covering the sevens on the Sunday, followed by the Champions Cup that has taken place overnight on the Monday morning. And also, Kiwi Lads, my F. And there as well says Ollie Wilson. Seems like something got cut off there, possibly for that one. But currently, like I mentioned earlier on, this table, at the moment, it's not too favourable for both of these two sides. MOANA Pasifika there at 11th, Highlanders there at 12th. The Fiji and Drua, they are taking on the top of the table Brumbies in their game tomorrow. That's going to be a tough one. Crusaders, they will be trying to knock the Hurricanes out of the top 8. But if the Hurricanes win that game, they're shooting themselves towards possibly above the Western Force, depending on how their game goes later on tonight. I didn't even mention the fact that we've got Rebels versus Western Force that it's also taking place tonight and will be covered on the Kiwi Lads channel. So we're busy for the next little while, but we've got a few videos also making their way onto the scenes. I think over the next 3 or 4 days, we've probably got about 30 live streams, if you count all the sevens, and then also alongside that, maybe about 6 or 7 videos now coming up on the channel. Nonetheless, these two sides just about to make their way out. Kiwi Lads, my friends and I are having a party for my birthday, and I was wondering if you would like to hang out with us. Says Ollie Wilson, you guys are in the North Island, aren't you? So I feel like that would be a little bit tricky for that one, just with distances and whatnot. But MOANA Pasifika about to make their way out there onto the field, ready to go at Forsyth Barr. And also Rebels are back after a week of Let's Go as well. Or week off Let's Go, says Xavier. Yeah, so it is going to be the game that I thought was going to take place last week, but I think they've got a little bit of a reshuffle at the moment for when games are taking place. I'm going for the usual underdogs here, especially when one won't need a TV, when the live stream chats are awesome on the Kiwi Lads. And there says Semi Souza. Currently the Highlanders, they'll be very close to their victory. They're so close every single week currently. Last week up against the Crusaders, 14 points to 17. No points scored in that second half. There was a missed kick from Mitch Hunt. That will be well and truly in the back of his mind now. But it looks like the Zoo are well and truly in attendance for this game here. They are excited. They are raring to go for this matchup. And the bagpipes are blaring as Shannon Frizzell and the Highlanders make their way out onto the field. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be scoring the first try of this match? Also, what is your score prediction? Do let me know. But so far in Super Rugby 2022, Frizzell's been impressive. Alongside him, another Highlanders player who I've been very impressed with is Jermaine Ainsley. He seems to be everywhere at the moment. And also, hey, Kiwi Lads, I got some new things for my live stream today. And there's us, Brandon, also fly up to Hamilton, then come to my house. My birthday's on the 14th of October. And also we've got at 3 p.m. in the afternoon and currently 33 degrees, hot and humid. And there is us, mate. Sure. So yeah, that sounds like it's not a fun environment. I mean, we're sitting 13 degrees. You might be wondering why I'm in a t-shirt, but that's because the fire is also gone. And I didn't really want to become slow roasted. So I thought, unless it cools down, I will have to have a t-shirt rather than a jersey. Oh, okay. The Highlanders are going to be doing a Haka here by the looks of it. It's actually something that has been injected into the competition very recently. Anytime a side plays off against MOANA Pasifika. We saw it last week with the Blues game and went by 33-16. The Highlanders all the way. Kickoff as well, says Bernie, on that one. But now Aaron Smith leading the Haka for the Highlanders. But like I mentioned, it was actually something that they did last week for MOANA Pasifika. A new update for a countdown. And there as well, says Brandon, also Haka. And there they've got Falau Fakatava at the front. So I'm wondering, is that just when teams play MOANA Pasifika from now on? Or is it in general? Because I guess if you were playing off with them twice, it does make sense that they are going to be doing it for the second time and only once against each side. And also, whereas George, he is currently working. He's got a very busy week. So pretty much from about Wednesday onwards, he's been doing pretty much full day shifts. And I don't think he's actually going to be free until like mid next week with the amount of stuff that he has got to do for his job. But once he is available, going to be doing plenty more videos. And also Kiwi Lads Knock Knock says, Ollie Wilson, who is there? Ollie, do let me know. It is the Haka of the Highlanders there. Now it will be MOANA Pasifika's turn. Or is it? Don't know. No. Okay, MOANA Pasifika are not going to be doing one. And also cheers for practicing it for others as well, says Mark Roberts. And also introductory Haka like the Blues. You can see why since MOANA Pasifika are the new boys. So yeah, they decided against it for the first round, but now they are doing it kind of for the next one. I heard a noise and it was my cat who's actually sat up now on a chair, kind of just away to the side. So he might be watching a little bit of the rugby also. MOANA Pasifika currently, they're in a huddle. Are they going to be doing a Haka themselves? They are indeed. No, they're not. Never mind. Mike Fraser here, the referee in charge of this matchup. Ben O'Keefe, John O'Brien, and then Aaron Patterson. He is going to be the TMO for this match at Forsyth Barr. The first game around out of Super Rugby Pacific. And Reborn has said hi as well. Welcome into Livestream, mate. Hope you're doing well. If you guys haven't already, be sure to get in your predictions. I'm going to say Ethan de Groot scores the first try just because he's a big forward, he's a big boy, and he'll go straight over the line and get himself a try. Probably not. He'll probably won't even score in this match. Also, I'm at the game. And there says Reborn and also we get there. How's it going, mate? Says Sebastian. Doing very well. Thank you, mate. And also, I wanted to score the first try, but Landers to take it. How's it, Hamish? How you doing? But are the Blues? Oh, no, B. Just want to know. Not sure. Thanks. And there says Andre. So the Blues, they have got themselves their match tomorrow up against the Chiefs. That will be taking place, and we will be covering that one on the channel. Also, they've got some good players scattered throughout their lineup. But this game now underway between the Highlanders and MOANA Pasifika. And this game, there's a lot on the line. Even though it's the two bottom sides, whoever wins this still keeps their hopes of finals contention alive. Aaron Smith just outside of the 22 puts up the box kick. Someone stayed down. Someone stayed down in the background, and it doesn't look too good for him. He looked flattened out completely. Hopefully, he is going to be all right. And also, MOANA Pasifika likely gathering afterwards to acknowledge the man above, I can tell. And there says Sammy Sosa, and I say hello, mate. Says Betty Wagon. Now, currently, MOANA Pasifika, they have got the ball here. I hope that man who was in back play did actually get up because he looked like he was just very prone for a little while there. But now, Enery passes it back across here. Some big runs here. It's going to be actually Ezekiel Lindenmouth, the number one. And now Christian Leliafano puts up the box kick. No, that guy is still down. That does not look too good. I think it might be a serious injury of some sort. But Mitch Hunt now trying to pierce the gap. Gives it off to Mosisi Dawai. Haven't worked out what number it was, but I believe it was the man who took the kickoff. Well, they went off to the Chiefs versus Blues game tomorrow. Hopefully it is going to be a good one. And, okay, Shannon Frizzell might be the man who's actually stayed down by the sounds of it there. It's going back for the penalty, although I'd like to think they would be stopping now to check on Frizzell because it does not look good for him. He stayed down since the kickoff. Highlanders all the way, says Bernie. Well, they won, but we're going to have a bit of a stoppage. Right, what happens to Shannon Frizzell? Oh, uh-oh. Okay, it was the left knee that ended up getting twisted, and you could see you could hear him wincing straight away for it. I didn't know you were doing it. Bulls versus Western Province. I saw that you had taken down the Requas versus Shark Stream. I assume that Curry Cup was off of the menu, says Sebastian. Nah, I just ended up, I underestimated how long chips took to cook, and I don't know how I did it. I think it was because it was a late night one, but yeah, we did end up still doing the other game. I just ended up getting confused at times and whatnot. So it was quite unfortunate. Because, yeah, that game just got a bit too close, and it was like, right, I can either eat chips for the first, 3 minutes of the match, or I'll just have to wait for the next one. And I think it was a decent decision because that game really didn't have too much in it. But Shannon Frizzell, he's off the field now, so that is a very early injury there for the Highlanders. Gareth Evans now making his way out there. Highlanders should win, but since they haven't got to win this season, so let's go MOANA Pasifika. And Christian Leafano has been around for quite a while. He certainly has. And are you doing the URC games this weekend? I hope you are. Love your commentary. We are indeed. Both of those matches, 12 o'clock and also 2:05 a.m. Big run from Ethan de Groot. Now only 10 meters out. He was my pick to score the first try, although he's going to have to get back up and run it again. That's another offside advantage. Here for MOANA Pasifika. Aaron Smith goes short side. Off into the hands. I believe there was Fatuli Paya crashing forward. Aaron Smith, he might be passing this one off to the right-hand side. He does indeed. Straight into the hands of big Jermaine Ainsley, who goes down a couple meters out. Now, it's going to be Marino Makaeli who drops the head. Still got the penalty advantage here for the Andrew Makalao and Mitch Hunt now. Nice little gallop. Ball on the outside. Mosisi Dawai scores the try, and they get the first one of the match. Yeah, only one try or something in the Sharks game. Prayers to those who attended that box, Sebastian, for that one as well. Because that's the thing. I was watching it while, like, I guess not doing the live stream, and I was like, the try's coming. It's going to be soon. Like, we saw that very first try. Oh, that was the number 2 for the Sharks, wasn't it? And then other than that, it just went quiet. I think Fez and Barter, the only try scorer throughout that game, but the Highlanders, they have already got themselves a try, and it was Mosisi Dawai who was able to score. He's in some very good form. That one was just a run-in for him, which is exactly what you want when you're out on your wing. The first touch to be a try, and the Highlanders strike first, and they strike quick into this game. We'll go like that, and we will go like that. There we go. And also we've got, voice crack. There we go. And also it's another gimme for MOANA Pasifika to win, even though the Highlanders are most likely to take it. And there says Sammy Souza, my voice haven't actually quite recovered from the last Curry Cup live stream. And I think it's because I did so much talking last weekend, and then also a little bit of the cricket midweek. It didn't have those days off. And as Bismarck has been a naughty boy again, if I heard correctly, Sebastian, that man he seems to love being right on the edge of whether or not he's getting a suspension. It's like he's suspended from the URC, so they're like, right, we'll just put him in the Curry Cup then and give it a go. I once went to a game, Australia versus France, years back in Melbourne. The score was 6-0 Aussie win, says Xavier. So I guess that's the thing. Normally, if a game's close, if you're at the ground, there's still that kind of suspense of, is it going to change directions in terms of who's going to win? But then if you're watching it on TV, I feel like a lot of people don't like it too much. That's gone over from Mitch Hunt. He'll like that kick very much. And lowest score ever. And are there any other games after that? There is Western Force versus Rebels that will be taking place. And that is going to be at 9:45 p.m. We are covering that game on the channel as well. Followed by tomorrow, we've got 3 games of Super Rugby. The Sevens, that is a little bit earlier on. And then also 2 games of the URC. Sunday is Sevens plus Champions Cup. So there's plenty on for the Kiwi lads in the next little while. And also here and there, says Bernie. Currently now just outside of the 22. Gareth Evans this time taking it. Man who was the replacement for Shannon Frizzell, who went off in the first minute of the game, got an awkward twist of the knee. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. That kick's gone very high. Sam Gilbert unable to take it. It goes into touch. And it will now be a MOANA Pasifika line out from only about 27 metres out. And also quick scores in there, and all the 2011 World Cup final, All Blacks versus France, 8-7, that game finished. And there, as I said, Sebastian, yeah, so I feel like with it being that close, as long as there's like line breaks right at the end of the game, and it looks like someone's just verges from being able to get themselves a World Cup victory, I feel like that is what you really want at the end. I think it was the lowest going World Cup final, one of definitely. And there says Sebastian, this one now going to be available once again. Going back across, it is going to be Lindenmuth, good carry forward. To get taken down by Andrew Makalao. Now looking to the short side, Christian Laliafano. William Harvey lined up by his opposite number, Garden Bishop, but he was unable to drag him down in the end. Scott Gregory having to finish the job. Lindenmuth once again gets another carry. He's been busy throughout the early stages. Laliafano now off Levi Amua with a bump off of Gilbert. Now going down on the 22. Wrestled down by James Lynch's. Little bit of space opening up on the outside. Doesn't find the ball to Tava Nawai. Was waiting for the Tasman representative. Actually, quite a few Tasman players in this MOANA Pasifika side. Got a run forward from Danny Tawala, represents Hawke's Bay. And also it could be said the same about the Hawke's Bay side. Levi Amua trying to spin, still driving forward. Gareth Evans in the end, able to drag him down now around the side. It's going to be Tima Whainanoku Inari off now into the hands of the number 8. I think he might have dropped it. And that one, Panatoa Finau, which is why they're going back for the penalty. I think the 2011 final, all of New Zealand and France were on the edges of their seats, and go the Highlanders, says Bernie there. And also in my class, we had partners, and my team was Ireland. And there as well, says Rio Gamer. Yeah, see, that would have been unfortunate because, I mean, Ireland, as good as they are, they always seem to have that World Cup, I guess, just unlucky streak of getting knocked out earlier than a lot of people feel that they should. Although this year, it's going to be tough because I know that Ireland, South Africa, France, and New Zealand are all actually on the same side of the draw, which means only 2 of those sides. In fact, if you look at it, only 1 of those sides, I believe, almost can make it. No, sorry, it is 2 past the quarterfinal stage. And hello, says Ashton, welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also, hi, says Amelia, welcome in. Levi Amua, he's looking dangerous throughout the early stages of this match. MOANA Pasifika, they have decided that they do want to take on the 3 points Yeah, and at the moment, most points of all time in Super Rugby, Christian Leali'ifano sitting there at 975, 25 points away from the 1,000, and he would actually overtake Andrew Mertens if he was able to do so. Dan Carter at the top, 1,700. No one's catching him for a little while. That's for sure. And my bro's team was Tonga. He had no chance at all in the Rio game at all. So still not sure why France played in their alternative strip in the 2011 final when the All Blacks don't wear blue. It's a good question. That one's gone over from Christian Leali'ifano. I guess it was just to really show, I guess, who had home field advantage, if that makes sense, because of the fact that if New Zealand qualified first to have the home final, like, I wouldn't have thought it would be a problem, though. We've seen New Zealand and France play in blue and black many times in the past, and blue and black are too close together, says Nov Mum. And then go Conaghan Bishop, says Ashton. Very good play. He was actually one of my picks for who was going to have a standout season last year. Unfortunately, got that injury very early on, though. That did take him out for pretty much the whole season. It's gone high. Taken nicely by Tawatawa Nawai. Now he starts to break the line. He's going to be wrestling off Gareth Evans. Breaks free, still going. Tawatawa Nawai. This man is just a ball of muscle who can make meters in his sleep. Now going back across. Christian Leali'ifano. Good counter-attack here from MOANA Pasifika. Now Tima Whainaunuku somehow finds the offload on the inside. That is incredible balance from Levi Amoa to keep himself in the field of play. Emery now on the halfway line. Cross to Samuel Slade. Little advantage. And they are going back for it and look nice in their blue colour. And there's last year's Rio game. That one, but that was absolutely phenomenal. Not just from Tawatawa Noa, not just from Tima Whainaunuku, but Levi Amoa getting in on the action as well. Somehow being able to stay in the field of play. Emery considers taking the quick tap. And now he said, nah, not going to do it. And also, we're going to South Africa versus Bangladesh commentary, please. I believe the days that we will be able to cover will probably be the last 2 days, with it being the Monday and the Tuesday of that test match, just because of all the overlaps that we have got with Super Rugby, etc. But we will be trying our best to cover as much of that as we can in the later stages of that test match. I will be watching along with it pretty much throughout the whole thing. It would have been easy to differentiate black and blue, or black from blue. I've seen teams that played in different shades of red and still did all right. And unless some colourblindness fixed blue and black, and there's still no Rob Leota for the Rebels. Can't find any news on why he's not playing. Been out for a long time, Rob Leota. You'd have to think it's just some sort of little injury that maybe he's thought that he's going to be back, so they haven't really announced it too much, and it just keeps on delaying him just a little bit longer. Josh Dixon doing very well in the line out there to be able to try and stop that one from going forward. He has now fallen over. Samuel Slade also going down. Now currently inside of the 22. Going to be passing it back across. Sam Molly gets the carry. In fact, it's Latero Tale. Sam Molly coming off the bench. I think he's still injured. And there as well, says Amelia, almost popping it up to Sakopi Kipu, who has got it now, finds the offload to Emery. Lyndon Muth, once again, trying to find himself through a gap. Passing it across Emery, now off into the hands of Polanaiti. Drag down this good defence from the Highlanders, but also very good attack from MOANA Pacific. A good attack and run from the big number 7, I believe it was. An aggressive run. Levi Amoa goes over, and MOANA Pacifica take the lead. And they are just firing from strength to strength at the moment for this season. They were talking to Levi Amoa before the match, saying how excited he was to play up against this Highlanders outfit, and they have just been able to score themselves their first try of the match, and Levi Amoa is the man who was able to do it, the Tasman representative. So he's played alongside quite a few of these teammates in the Highlanders kit. But there's going to be Levi Amoa who does get himself over the goal line. I believe it was a brilliant carry from Danny Tuala. Actually broke through 2 of the tacklers, which then created that gap and the opportunity for Levi Amoa to receive that offload and just go straight over line for their try. And also we have got there. It's no wonder why they introduced that law recently for the convenience of colourblindness, especially with red, green, and blue jerseys, strict conflicts. And also we have got there, Hamish, how you doing, my brother? I hope you've been good. I have indeed. Very excited for the Super Rugby weekend, and also the 7s that is just around the corner. Not fun being at colourblind or being colourblind at the traffic lights. And there's us, Sebastian. And also, do you think, or who do you think is going to win the Rebels game? I know Western Force are favourites, although I'm not too sure who's going to be able to win that one at this point in time. And as a Rebels fan, as long as we put up a fight and don't get flogged, I'll be happy with it, says Amelia. And yeah, from what we've seen recently from the Rebels, I'd like to think that they will do not too badly for themselves. And also no Pone Fa'amasili for the Rebels. Whether it's the game, baby, or in the bang, baby. And when's the 7th? Is that tonight? No, not tonight, tomorrow night. / tomorrow during the day as well. Cheers, everyone supporting the mighty Pacifica, or sorry, the mighty Moana. And there as well, says Mark Roberts. At the moment, their backline's pretty elusive in the way that they just find those offloads back to back to back. And I was like, try MOANA, and there says Sebastian for that one. But unless now it's going to be Mitch Hunt, just kick this one off for the Highlanders. Does go high Rebels all the way. Says Bernie for that one. Almost taken by Mosisi Tawai. I think it was a half by a little knock on from the Highlanders winger. Now Tava Nawai was able to claim that one though. And they do have this one from the 22. London Myth once again. I finally got my tickets to the Super Round today, says Amelia. So whereabouts are you sitting? Are you close to the action? Are you a bit further back? Either way, it's going to be an awesome atmosphere seeing so many Super Rugby games back to back to back throughout a few days. Yeah, reels all the way. And there says Xavier Brown. Are you also going to the Super Round, Xavier? Do let me know. Seeing as it has taken place in Melbourne. Now Aaron Smith goes back across to Ethan de Groot. A good carry for, but we've already had 2 tries in this matchup. And we've only been going for 13 minutes. Mitch Hunt kicks it in behind, looking for the touchline there. It sits up nicely for Tava Nawai. He doesn't often pass, but he does there to William Avili. Now trying to pierce his way through a gap. He said hard by Andrew Makalao. And I'm not sure. I'm going all 3 days, absolutely buzzing about it. As I says Amelia, and also we have got the A going to all 3 days. That one. And yeah, it's going to be awesome seeing like all those matches taking place over just the 3 days of rugby. Like it's pretty much our normal Super Rugby, but it's going to be all from the same ground. So everyone in attendance going to be loving it. For Tuli Pai, not loving that pass. He's put it down. And our Tima Whaina Nuku jumps on the ball. He's got some strapping on the head at this point in time. I believe that might be due to some sort of cut that might have opened up a bit earlier on in the day, possibly in the training. These guys train pretty hard, MOANA Pasifika, that is for sure. Don't stray away from big kind of contact in the training for kind of match conflict, or contact, I should say, and the entire moments. And there, as I says, Mark, going to be stolen by Macali too. In fact, he's actually won the penalty. He stole it nice and clean. I got a bit confused there for Macali too. And also Jan Lou Brand has said hi as well. Welcome in and good evening all. Hamish, Sebastian, and Grama. Oh, sorry, Sebastian. In the as well says David, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Currently, MOANA Pasifika, they've had 66% of the possession, 2 minutes 43 inside of the opposition 22. And they are looking pretty decent. This match should draw. And as I says, actually, if it is a draw, they will be going to golden point. I may miss the first 10 minutes of the first match because of my work. And as I says, Amelia. So who is the first match? What date is the Super Round? I can't quite remember all of the games in terms of what order that they have got, but it's coming up, isn't it? It's only a couple of weeks away, I believe. And also, Suva is going to be holding that match between the Highlanders and the Fijian Drua. That is also coming up very soon when we do get to see it. And also, we have got the how's it going, David, and also how's everybody doing, and who do you go for? And yeah, at this stage, even though MOANA Pasifika have started this extremely well, I think the Highlanders should be able to win it. But that's the thing. MOANA Pasifika have caused so many upsets in the short amount of time that they've been playing in this competition. So I would say that I'm not too far away from saying that they might be able to get the win. And yes, they have just got the one big win. So I guess upsets, I'd probably be a bit exaggerating it for that one. But how close they've been in a few of those other games, they were all but winning a lot of them. And also we have got the, I go for Highlanders. And then also Super Rounders in 2 weeks. It was Xavier, and also rooting for MOANA. And then I go for Highlanders. And there says Bernie. So 2 weeks' time. Okay, so it's going to be Chiefs versus Waratahs, MOANA Pasifika Western Forces, the first 2 games on the Friday. Blues versus Fiji and Drua, Hurricanes versus Reds on the Saturday. And then on Sunday, it will be Highlanders, Brumbies, Crusaders, and Rebels as the 2 games. And then 22nd to 24th of April, currently having this ball in hand. It is MOANA Pasifika, 40 metres out from the line. Wide cut-out pass to Tima Whainaranuku. Rush defence from Connor Garden. Bishop doesn't work out. Tries to find the offload on the inside, but Bishop is there. And he's been able to get the ball back in the hands of the Highlanders, I should say. Get downfield from Mitch Hunt. It's a great kick. Tava Nawai takes it just outside of the 22. Now Levi and Moore with some crash ball. Held up by Marino Makeli too. And also was Manakai Selby Rickett. They tried to hold him up. And also you should come to Fiji to watch Highlanders versus Drua. I mean, it will be an awesome atmosphere. That is for sure. When's that game taking place? That's actually only, is it 1 week away or 2 or 3 weeks away? Somewhere around there. I think it's 1 or 3. And unfortunately, got MOANA. It's an 80-minute game, not a 60-minute game. And as I says, Obi, and also we have got the I'm going for MOANA for this matchup. And also we have got the, well, what do you know, MOANA is in the lead. And there's his Sammy Sosa. Yeah, they're doing very nicely at the moment for themselves. They got that early 3 points. That's going to be taken there by the Highlanders, but kick downfield from Samuel Slade after it now. But Mitch Hunt takes it, does the step, being in the big lock, and that is one of those ones that if you've got the quick feet, normally more times than not, the fly half does have just that little bit more speed. The lock, unless it's Brodie Retallick, then that man's very hard to go around. I'll be in England in 2 weeks. Says Sebastian, what are your plans for in England? I assume seeing your brother. What else have you got on the cards for yourself? Maybe a Harlequins game. If you haven't, might be worth a crack if they do have a game in England. It is taken beautifully by William Havili there, and it's just been able to hang on to the ball 40 metres out now. It's going to be Sekope Kepu with a good crash ball. And it's the only problem with Moana. They keep it up for 80 minutes, then they'll win. And there's how that one's gone high for Eritara Enori, taken nicely by Mitch Hunt now. Back across the Garden Bishop. It's just a little bit of a stalemate. We haven't really had a penalty or anything in a very long time. So both sides just having phase after phase. Scott Gregory now close to the touchline. Wrestled down, fights a little flick pass. Mosisi Tawai got the space, does the little chip and chase, waiting for the ball to sit up. Oh, it's gone through the hands of Fatuli Pai. He's tackled without the ball off at Mosisi Tawai, and Aaron Smith puts it down over the try line. No try, though. They want to go Highlanders. And there's his birding, and hopefully come Super Round. My trainer will let me leave early, and or otherwise I'm going to have to take the train to Amy Park. And there as well says Amelia. And also thank you very much for these wonderful things, or these are wonderful things, says Mark. And yeah, at this stage, we've got plenty more Super Rugby coming just around the corner. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now I'm not going to London, unfortunately. I'll be in Northwest Lancashire. Sorry. What's in Lancashire other than... I assume that is where your brother is. Are there any rugby games that take place near there that you could go to? Imagine if the Harlequins have got an away game that week and it perfectly matches with where you'll be. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? And 30th of April is the Highlanders versus Drua. So, yeah, only 3 weeks away. It's going to be exciting to see how it goes. But at the moment, Connor Garden Bishop, they're showing him on the field. And he's been very impressive throughout his short, illustrious Highlanders career, and Moana has everything to play for. A win for the new franchise shall lift up the spirits. They're exactly right. If they get themselves a massive win here, Moana Pasifika, they will still keep... Oh, that's going to be actually a free kick for it going down on the front row, I believe, or at least a scrum reset anyway. Ethan de Groot and Sekope Kepu both looking over at the touch judge, asking about that one, and go Moana. And there says Lima. But yeah, the Highlanders, the only side in this competition who are yet to get themselves a victory. If Moana Pasifika can keep it that way going into those games up against Australia, I feel like the Highlanders may struggle a little bit more than we anticipate. But if the Highlanders get a win here, Moana Pasifika, even though they've lost quite a few of their matches, they've been close in a majority of them also, but just outside of that 7 point to get themselves the bonus point there. And either way, come Super Round, I reckon it'll definitely draw a massive crowd across the 3 days. Yeah, it's going to be very good for Melbourne. That's gone down on the front row, and it's a penalty in favour of Moana Pasifika for the front rows going down. Looking forward to the Tasman crossover next week. And there's Sammy Souza. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer. What's the first game? I'm going to have a look at see what the first game that we do see. But it's got here so quickly as well. It felt like so long ago that we were going to get to see it. Wait, is it next week or the week after? I think it's the week after, isn't it? When we do get the Super Round. So that will be the 22nd of April for that first one. And there's no rugby union in Lancashire. Only cricket, but the county championship in England started yesterday. Might pop to the Old Trafford cricket ground to see my boy Jimmy Anderson. Would be an awesome opportunity. And I mean, the other side of it is he probably hasn't got that many years left in his cricketing career. So you might be able to see kind of one of his final season games. Unless he'll probably still go for another 3 seasons, Jimmy Anderson. It's up to him. Samuel Slade a little bit loose there. The ball bounces favourably for the Highlanders. It's going to be a knock-on advantage now for the Mosisi Tawai. Wide cut-out pass taken nicely by Connor Garden Bishop. Steps back on the inside around Amua. And still going for Connor Garden Bishop. Moves up to the halfway line. Very good run from the fullback Smith. Going back across now to Evans. Linking up with Mitch Hunt. Scott Gregory kicking it on the left boot. Trying to find the space, and it's gone straight into the hands of the opposition fullback. William Havili kicks it downfield into touch. It's a good kick. Mitch Hunt decides against taking it quickly. And that is going to be the line out for the Highlanders. And also we've got there, especially for growing the game in Melbourne in particular, it'll definitely do them good. And there, as I says Amelia. But yeah, we're getting closer and closer to New Zealand versus Australia games. And I think the one that a lot of people are looking forward to the absolute most is going to be when we get to see Fiji and Drua go head-to-head with Moana Pasifika. That is going to be on the 14th of May. Should be a great game. currently. Now they're trying to drive their way forward nicely with the rolling maul here. The Highlanders, Andrew Makaleo holding on to it at the back. The halfway line here. I think Aaron Smith, he looked like he was going to be kicking it, but now that they've made their way into the half, I assume it said that they will be running it. The Highlanders still just creeping forward slowly here for the Highlanders. This has probably made about 20 metres so far for themselves. Still waiting. Makali 2's got it at the back. And it's a very well structured rolling maul here for the Highlanders. It's going to be the advantage now, and unfortunately for them, it was, I believe there was Solomoni Funaki went through the side. It's a penalty to the Highlanders. Fancy the Rebels' chances against the Force as a winnable game in the Melbourne Boys, or if the Melbourne Boys get it right. And there says Sammy Sosa. Yeah, that game could easily go either way. That is the next one tonight at 9:45. We will be covering that on the channel also. Anyone who is newbie, sure to hit that subscribe button. Lancashire's got some decent players in the domestic league. Jimmy Anderson, Josh Butler, Liam Livingston. And there's some very good players. Although I guess 2 of the 3 will be at the IPL currently, wouldn't they? So Josh Butler. I keep on calling him Josh now because we've got Josh Ioane, Josh Dixon, Josh. It's more Joshes. I just can't think of all of them at this stage. Josh, who else is a Josh in the New Zealand competition? Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Ioane, Josh Dixon, Josh Honick. He's actually not coming off the bench for this game, though, I don't believe. Or is he? He might actually be there. No, he's not. It's instead Stola Ma'u. Who's there? Have we got any other Joshes overseas? And I'll say, yeah, Joss and Liam are playing in the IPL. And there's Sebastian. That one's going to be thrown in nicely by the Highlanders. And Arijo, mates, he's tracking down under, doing very well. Aaron Smith, not so well. He's just given the ball straight to Sakopi Kepu. Forgot which player was on his team. But yeah, I hope you have been having a nice week so far. Tracking which game of Super Rugby and also are you sevens, man? You're going to be watching the sevens that are taking place in Singapore very soon. I definitely think that we are with a chance considering how much we have improved in the recent weeks. There's Amelia taken nicely by William Arvelli. Tries to spin out of the tackle now. Tava Nawai has got this one. Nice low tackle on him by Andrew Makaleo. Josh Blackwell. Is that James Blackwell's brother, I guess? And I was like, hello, trucking. There's Sebastian Solomoni Funaki with a good carry. Levi Amoa now. A hard by Fatuli Paya, but he just keeps on driving those legs. And it seems to be very tricky to put him down, which is something that they learned throughout the Tasman Bunnings NBC season. Speaking of hard to put down, Ezekiel Lindenmouth also having a bit of a carry forward. I believe he was a Counties Manukau man throughout the Bunnings NBC, which will actually be returning in only about 4 months' time. Now it's going to be Sam Gilbert with a bit of a step. Tried to wrestle him down early. They were unable to do so. Smith now going back across. Jermaine Ainsley. Good tackle on him by Lindenmouth. He has been everywhere throughout the early stages, and I tracking down under. And it would at least drag some fans away from the Storm in the NRL. Says Sammy Sosa there. Connor Garden Bishop trying to go around the side. He's going to be wrestled down once again here. Smith passes it across. Big Andrew Makaleo just crashes the ball forward. It looks like, there's another injury for the Highlanders, and it looks like Manakai Selby Rickett this time, who has stayed down. Ball being put high. Going to be a 50-50 in the air for Tuli by a little half knock on the ground. It's an advantage now. And Big Penatoa Finau finds the offload. Sakopi Kepu just to his ankles, though. It was unable to push that one back up. Another reason Super Round will do well is because it is towards the end of school holidays by the time it happens, says Amelia. And also, yeah, that's a good point. Because at the end of the day, like it might be, I guess, that last trip for a lot of families heading into the next stage. Oh, okay, Sakopi Kepu might also be down. Manakai Selby Rickett. I don't think that's the face you want to see from the trainer. He was twisting Manakai Selby Rickett's leg, looks over at his other trainer and goes, as if to say, not sure what's happened here. The knee's just not quite feeling right. So Manakai Selby Rickett, he might be taken off the field as well. And I'll say, as a Storms fan, I find it weird that I'm 10% more passionate about the Rebels compared to the Storm, considering I was raised a Storm supporter. And there says Amelia as well. And at the moment, I watch all sports, even flies crawling up a wall. It's if it's entertaining, mate. Can be sometimes, depending on where they're heading. But yeah, we got, I don't even know how many hours coming up this weekend. I think we've got another 4 games of Super Rugby. We're going to be doing pretty much all of the Sunday of sevens from the quarterfinals, etc. onwards. Then we've also got the Champions Cup in the middle of the night. The URC is coming up as well in the middle of the night for tomorrow night. And then also a little bit of sevens earlier on tomorrow. Okay, Manakai Selby Rickett has been taken off the field. He's joining the Broken Brigade with Shannon Frizzell. I forgot about Matt Parkinson, Phil Salt, and Squib Mahmood. They're Lancashire boys as well. There you go. They've got quite a good side by the sounds of it on paper. It's kind of like, is it New South Wales in the domestic Australian competition now? They just seem to have all those good guys from all over the place. But Sekope Kepu, he is still down, so another injury in this game. And what time's the 7 start tomorrow? I believe the first game is at about 2 p.m., and that is going to be the game between Japan and France is actually that first matchup. But yeah, it starts at 2 p.m. New Zealand time. And then from there on the Singapore Sunday, I guess you could call it, it is going to be starting from 3 p.m. And that is a 9 to 16 quarterfinals. The quarterfinals themselves start at 4:28. And then from there, semifinals taking place at 8:15 or so. And then the final taking place at 11:28, which we will be up for and we will be covering on the channel. So Sekope Kepu, he is still down at the moment, so it doesn't look too good for him. Currently doesn't look like that man will be getting up. I'm not too sure whether it's shoulder or knee. I thought initially it was knee, but now they're kind of stretching out the back of him as well. Currently the next game that's taking place tonight, it is going to be at 9:45 p.m. Should be a very exciting game of rugby. And also we have got there what has happened to the Highlanders. It's just going wrong, unfortunately, this year. And also, when do the 60 females start their games? And there's Aussies 8. And so I assume we're talking about the women's Super Rugby. I would assume, I think there's actually the final coming up, isn't there? Well, that one moment. Oh, no, as in the women's sevens. They're actually not this weekend, not the next weekend. So it is going to be in about 20-something days' time. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to be able to see them. And also no possibility of a George tonight, Hamish. Sadly not. He is working flat out. Since Wednesday, I think it was, he has been pretty much full days and some of the night as well. Even though it's getting quite dark here in New Zealand, he'll still be in a tractor somewhere moving around. And I would say, Surrey has got the best looking lineup on paper, but the captain is Rory Burns, so nothing to worry about. Says Sebastian there. And Cook got his 70th first-class century. Is he still playing at the moment? And also when I tell people rugby is my favourite sport, then they go, what the hell? I always have to end up telling them to watch a game, and you understand why I love it. And that's how things keep going from bad to worse for the Highlanders. Yeah, they're having a tricky patch at the moment. Inori now passing it back across, running forward here. Danny Tawala. It's been impressive for the Hawke's Bay. Now wide pass from Leliafano, gets it off to Tavatava Nawai. And that is Timothy Tavatava Nawai. Counter ruck here from the Highlanders. Not quite able to get the ball back though. Continuing to drive their way forward. I'm still looking around to see whether or not we do get to see Sekope Kepu continue or whether he was taken off the field. Still looking around. Tavatanawa gets it off the back of that almost what became a rolling maul. And also, are you from Surrey, Gregor? And also, we have got there, we do from a Surrey fan. And then, yo, man, who are you? And there's us, Joe, I am Hamish. And that is the question. Apollo 90 now passing it back across Aaron Smith. Nicely taken by Connor Garden. Bishop on the halfway line. Good counter-attacking opportunity here for the Highlanders. Mosisi Dawai goes on the inside of Tima Whainanuku. He had the man with him. He didn't see him for Mitch Hunt, though. Could have linked up, but was unable to do so. Loose ball here for the Highlanders. Dixon takes it. Now across to Jermaine Ainsley. Bounces out of the tackle. Apollo 90. They've got the advantage here also for the Landers. And they take the penalty there. And also now that New Zealand and Fiji joins Singapore Sevens, who do you reckon will win the gold medal? I think for me, it's between New Zealand, South Africa, and Fiji, which is pretty much, I think, the sides that you were probably thinking. And then alongside that, I mean, Australia, if they play well enough in Singapore, I know that the Springboks 7 side, they have the record of beating, or they won the last final in 2019. But I'd say, for me, the Blitzboks win this one, and then it's probably next week or the next competition that we start to see New Zealand and Fiji really find their footing once again. Quite a few debuts for both Fiji and New Zealand. So it's going to be a tricky one. Although saying that, I think that the Blitzboks have also got one debut in the mix there. No, Sebastian. And there says Gregor. It was a nice ball out to Mosisi Dawai. He had him. He never looked to him. There for Mitch Hunt. He would have been screaming for it. But unfortunately, just not quite a loud enough voice to be able to ask for an Australia and USA likely wildcards to take out Singapore Sevens. And then I'm back from the live streams and I want to chat named Joe. And in there as well. Currently now going to be going for the rolling maul here for the Highlanders. Andrew Makalau's got it at the back. Waits for it. It's going to kind of be spinning around all over the place. They've got the penalty advantage once again now for the Highlanders. Fatuli Paiwa wrestled down. Midfield-wise, got to attack and run. Marino Makele too, 2 meters short. Here now, who is going to be the first receiver? It goes out, Sam Gilbert. He will not pass, and he has been held up short of the line and does need to pass that ball back. That is one thing in his game that he never does, and that is pass the ball. It's bounced out the side, going back for the initial penalty, though. All he needed was the link up on the outside. Would have been a certain try. And also, we have got there go. Says betting, and also, it must be warm where you are, being in a t-shirt, Amish. I'm sitting next to a fire. Yeah, I've also got fire going there, so it's a little bit weird because we're 11 degrees Celsius, but it's pretty nice at the moment. But I might need a jersey for the later one. But I decided since the fire's going, if I was in a jersey, I would have been cooking throughout this whole live stream. 30 minutes into this game, MOANA Pasifika once again are going to have to defend their own try line 5 meters out, and it will be the line out throw for the Highlanders. We have also got their Manly too good last night. Hamish, tell you what, they were impressive. Manly 30-6 or something along those lines for that game. And the big thing for me in that game was Manly were actually underdogs. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that they were. But I think that's because they didn't have Tom Travojevic, but they just showed in that game they don't need him. Of course, they'd love to have him, but in the games that he's not available, like they've still got potential in their backline to be able to do good things. Currently now Dixon taking it quite nicely there. Driving forward here, Andrew Makaleo at the back of the rolling ball, waiting for it here for the Highlanders. It's curling around a little bit. Still available. Now Andrew Makaleo, he goes down, scores the try. Oh, I just punched something accidentally, but we will add Andrew Makaleo to that try scoring list. And we'll go like this and like this. Max Hicks, he's on debut. Currently they are mentioning, and he's already out on the field due to the injury that we did see a little bit earlier on. And then but Andrew Makaleo scores it now, and that is going to help them towards a little bit more of a lead here for the Highlanders. We will go like that, and we will go like that as well. There we go. And also we have got there, have a good night, mate. I'll have to watch Warriors versus Cowboys, so hopefully it is a entertaining matchup, but we will see you later on, mate. And also go MOANA, go, says MH. And also my Joe is you. And there's our Warriors will win. And also, yeah, Garrick replaced Tommy Turbo. And there's and also I'm just having a nap. I am UK. And there's says Joe. We're now currently about to line up this kick for himself, Mitch Hunt. See how he goes. I believe there'll be some spirit fingers in the crowd. A little bit of movement there from them. But currently, that is a good try to have for the Highlanders, taking the lead just with 8 minutes left in this first half. If they can continue to lead till the later stages of this game, that will be ideal for the Highlanders. That one shall be great for a New Zealand franchise on debut. So there says MH, yeah. If MOANA Pasifika can beat 2 of the New Zealand sides on their debut season, that is absolutely huge for them. They've already beaten the Hurricanes. They went to Golden Point in that game, and it was an absolutely sensational one and a brilliant performance from MOANA Pasifika. And also, Highlanders should be embarrassed. It's even this close, says Peter Lloyd. And that kick, oh, Mitch Hunt, he has missed it. It's hit the post. And it's hit the post. It's come back out. And now because of it, it is going to be an unconverted try there for the Highlanders. So only a 2-point lead. Andrew Makaleo, who's sitting there, big Jermaine Ainsley in front of him. And it was going to be very tough to stop. And also we have got there, win would be great for the Highlanders as well. They haven't tasted glory yet this season, says Sebastian. And also we have got there, this will be a second one for MOANA Pasifika if they can actually do it. It certainly would be. But in the end, the Highlanders, you'd like to think that with their bench, they'd have that little bit of an advantage. But then from there, I should mention, they've already had to make 2 of their subs, both being forwards. Ball bounces back for Tima Whaina Nuku, who does go forward very nicely, and now only 20 metres out from the line. It is going to be a good opportunity for MOANA Pasifika to try and fire straight back. Christian Leafano, it was an interception pass thrown, but it was missed by Sam Gilbert. Speaking of missed, he just missed a tackle on Tavatama Nawai. You pretty much got to take him off the ground to be able to stop him from driving the legs, and even then he'd be pumping them in the mid-air. Now, Haveli, loose pass. Mosisi Dawai almost jumps on it. Getting out of the tackle for Solomoni Funaki. Now, Danny Tuala, isolated Max Hicks, able to make the tackle on him there. Very nicely done by the Highlanders defence. The Tirotale goes back across Christian Leafano and able to make his way through the line. Gareth Evans a little bit slow getting up from that one. Now finding the offload up to Levi and Moore, and it's just a brilliant midfield combo, and the wingers are all strengthy individuals here for MOANA Pasifika. And there's now Enery passing it back across. Ezekiel Lindenmouth off to Polo 90. He puts it down now. Scott Gregory misses the ball, and it's going back for the scrum here. Polo 90 decides that the ground deserves a headbutt, smacks it on the ground a few times, and now we'll be joining up for the scrum. But yeah, the Warriors versus Cowboys about to kick off. That is an 8 p.m. start for that game. Hopefully the Warriors can get themselves a win, but it's always hard to tell with the Warriors in terms of what Warriors side. Okay, it's just sad. It's an unfortunate yawn. We've got a long weekend ahead of us. So hopefully that is the only one, although I doubt it will be. I think we'll have quite a few throughout the later stages of the night. And Polo 90 almost able to make his way through the gap there. Just didn't quite work out. But the scrum at this stage sitting 22 metres out from the line. And MOANA Pasifika, they are going to be trying to get this ball straight back from the Highlanders now. Currently Ethan de Groot sitting there in the front row. We'll quickly go like this and like this. I'm just going to check. I never actually talk about the likes. We've got 21 at the moment. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It is hugely appreciated. Everyone who is tuning into this live stream. Aaron Smith about to feed that ball in. Now Aaron Smith, ball is available at the back. It's going to be a penalty to the Highlanders. So Kopi Kepu's not too happy with that one. Him and Ethan de Groot having a very good battle on this near side. Okay, they're saying that maybe just a little bit of wheeling there. And that one also. Currently Andrew Makaleo, he's in the front row. He's a very impressive player for the Highlanders, already scoring a try in the earlier stages of this match. Now it will be Mitch Hunt kicking this one for the touchline. Currently 36 minutes in, just woke up, and it looked like MOANA were winning 12-20. Then my eyes focused, and it was 12-10. I mean, still very close at this stage of time, though. So hopefully it does end up going very nicely for MOANA Pasifika right to the end of this game. We want to see a close one, and even if they lose, it would be great to see them get a bonus point loss just to keep them in the running for that top 8, because both of these sides, this is pretty much a must-win for themselves. Now Andrew Makaleo on that one in. Josh Dixon taking it very nicely there. Now going to be available currently on the halfway line. Andrew Makaleo, a little bit of a juggle there, but they've been told to use it here in the Highlanders. Their rolling ball has been looking very impressive throughout this game. Now it's going to be an advantage to the Highlanders. Little chip in behind, taken very nicely. No, it's going to be a knock on there. And also we have got there, I would be freaky, or it would be freaky if this game ended 12-20 now. It would be. I feel like maybe Fleshing can see the future. Maybe. Oh, hey, what, Fleshing? Women's Six Nations. England versus Wales. Who's winning that game? I haven't actually watched a majority of the Six Nations, and I feel like that's very slack from myself, but it's just been random hours of the night that I do need to try and, like, sleep. So Kopi Kepu at the moment, having a bit of a chat with the referee. Sitting there, 37 minutes into this game. The collapsing count's just getting a few too many, so if they're not careful, they might end up with themselves going to the bin possibly for the next one. But now Mitch Hunty will once again be kicking this one for the touchline. They'll be about 22 metres out with this line out. Aaron Smith currently looking like as the co-captain. Oh, okay, Joe was timed out by David, and that I do see. Yeah, I feel for him. He didn't do anything wrong initially, and then he got angry about not doing anything wrong, and then he got timed out. And also we've got there, it's just too much sport. And also we've got there, it's just too much sport around to have time for the Women's Six Nations as well, said Sebastian. Yeah, I'll probably watch all the replays of the games, like when we get a little bit more of a quieter patch in rugby, because I think all the games are on Sky, and you can kind of watch the replays. And I'd say and watch all of you. And also we have got there, David the Mod is my best friend. And there's Brandon as well, but currently now going for the rolling ball here, 10 metres out from the line now. And it is going to be the advantage, 10 metres out. And now they're almost at 5. There was a man offside for that one. So now the Highlanders trying to creep themselves just a little bit further towards the line. They're getting more men to join up Ethan de Groot. He's joining on to the back. Marina McAley too. He wants it and does get the offload back to him. Okay, they're going to be told to use it there. It's become a little bit too stagnant for the Highlanders by the looks of it. Aaron Smith trying to get that ball. Now it's starting to creep forward. They just wait patiently, and they do go over the line. Okay, triple blow of the whistle, and I think they're going to be going upstairs. No, it's held up initially. So now because of it, they will be going back for the advantage. I believe the initial call is held up. Penalty time's off, and he's going to be going upstairs. Okay, so they are going to be checking on that one. And also we have got there, England should be too strong for Wales. The turning pro is a bit too soon. And there is last season, and also England versus Italy and the Women's Six Nations are 74-0, bloody hell. And then, yeah, try scoring. Absolutely clinical from the English. But that one now is going to be going to the bin for Polonite. I wasn't too sure who ended up getting the penalty, but it is going to be Polonite who does go off the field for the next little while. And we'll go like that. And we will go like that. There we go. So, yeah, anyone who hasn't left a like already, be sure to do so. We're currently 5 meters out from the line here for the Highlanders. And hi, buddy, Brandon. And there's Anamoa looking in good shape, leaning quick. Says Manly for life. Yeah, he's just a ball of muscle. Like, I use that saying way too often, but he is literally that. Like, he's quick. He's strong. He has an offload game as well, which makes it just that much more scary because of the fact that he can find a way of being able to make his way, like, through a tackle to then get lured in two of the defenders and just pop it off. Just give him a quick flick to the man in support, and then they end up scoring instead. So it's very impressive from him. And he has got a bright future for MOANA Pasifika. And also we have got there, now it will be the line out, and it is going to be 39 minutes into the game. 5 minutes out here for Andrew Makaleo, about to line up this line out. The Highlanders, I'm looking at Ethan DeGroot here, although I feel like maybe Andrew Makaleo will be the man who does get that ball at the back of the rolling maul. Waiting for it. It's coming out the back very slowly. It's going to be tough to defend from here. MOANA Pasifika, the front foot. It's going forward. Andrew Makaleo waiting patiently. It's going to go down. Oh, he spun onto his back and he's just short of line. Andrew, or in fact, it was Aaron Smith flicks it through his legs, and Mosisi Dawai goes in the corner. I'm not too sure who Andrew is. In fact, it's Andrew Makaleo, isn't it? Just randomly shouted Andrew, but that is going to be the try, the second try of the match now for Mosisi Dawai. And he is going to be sitting there on 40 minutes into the game. 2 tries for 2022. 2 tries in his career. 2 tries tonight. This man's having a field day and breaking all of his own stats. And I'll say he got worse since I've been in, don't worry. And there, yeah, we've had some good ones in the last little while. I mean, that's the thing. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of the sevens, and I'm looking forward to seeing what new insults people come up with for the random people who tune in. Because normally, I mean, the ones lately have been a bit tame. You know, I want to see some real good ones. Like, it's a funny thing. I was talking to my mum about it earlier on as well. And I was saying, like, the people who are like, show the game and then just insult me. I mean, if I had any chance of showing the game, I feel like that just limits it by a little bit more. You know, if they were like, can you please show the game? I'd consider it if I was able to without getting copyrighted, of course. But yeah, the ones who just go, oi, like, you're a such and such, fill in the blank. I was like, then me getting them back. And there, as I said, Betty Wagon. But currently now it is going to be Mitch Hunt lining up this one from the touchline. This will be halftime once this kick has been kicked. Now, Dan Carter from Eden Park was able to kick over plenty of kicks. So far, Mitch Hunt has missed one of his tonight. Can he get this one over for himself? Does anyone know how many kicks Dan Carter missed of his attempts during that 24-hour one? And did anyone watch more than about an hour worth of Dan Carter kicking? Do let me know. Apparently, the Spirit Fingers, the MOANA Pasifika bench are actually making their way off the field currently. So they've decided to have a little bit more time in the changing sheds. But Chance strikes it. Oh, he likes that post. It's just missed it away to the left-hand side there. And that is going to be halftime now between the two sides. 17 points to 10. I'll calm down. I am so mad at Joe because David Mott is my best friend. And not going, got to give for them as well, says Brandon. Although earlier on you did actually mention that the same Joe was on your live stream. So I wonder whether or not you do know him, perhaps. But currently 17 points to 10 the moment in this game between the Highlanders and MOANA Pasifika. We will get some stats to do with this game. But anyone who is curious about how the table currently sits, this is how we are sitting. So both of these two sides are the bottom two sides in the competition. But there's a lot on the line. Whoever wins this game still has a chance of being able to make the top 8 as long as the Fijian Drua and also the Brumbies, the Rebels, don't get themselves too many matches won in the next kind of round or two. we'll go like this. And also, we like when Muppets have some fight, and then makes the deal more interesting in there. And also, if he did around 1,620 kicks, was 98% success rate. I wonder how long it took him before he did end up missing one. Because I know that it was just, or it wasn't just him, was it? There was also a couple others who were helping him out for that one. I saw that Leon McDonald sorted one over at one point, I believe, which was very impressive. The Blues coach, he will probably now be heading to Waikato for their upcoming game. And that is tomorrow. That is going to be Blues taking on the Chiefs, which should also be an exciting game. As you can see, the Chiefs and the Blues both sitting relatively high in the Super Rugby Pacific. Anyone wondering why that is dark green compared to the light green? It is because those are home finals. So pretty much 1 will play 8, 2 will play 7, 3 will play 6, and 4 will play 5. So currently, I believe a majority of those would actually be kind of muddled up a little bit, such as you would get to see the Chiefs taking on, or the Crusaders. That would be a big game. Waratahs taking on the Blues. But of course, we're still very early on in the competition. So there is still plenty of time left for Aaron and Fa'amasili or Fa'amalosi there for the MOANA Pasifika boys. And this is Tafutolo. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly, but welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you're doing well. Currently a close game between these two sides. 7 points difference. MOANA Pasifika having more meters carried throughout that first half with 212 compared to the 182 of the Highlanders. More defenders beaten for MOANA Pasifika also with 17-14. 9 offloads to the 2. They've been very busy, although they have missed 14 tackles of the 42 attempted, which is not exactly a great record just at this stage. And also they've got a yellow card with the 8 penalties that they did concede. Peter Feta needs a crack in the All Blacks environment, Hamish. I agree. I mean, that man, if he doesn't get a chance at fullback, give him a go at fly half, because he seems to be able to balance both of them like pretty well at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing him at fullback for the Blues tomorrow up against the Chiefs. Was very nice on my live stream. I see he hates my live stream or your live stream. Then he said David the Mod, and he got mad as well in there. And also we have got there. You got it right, bro. Watching all the way from Samoa. So welcome in, and hope you are excited all. Okay, are you a sevens man? Samoa back in the 7th circuit. Their games tomorrow and the next day. And hopefully we do get to cover a few Samoan fixtures on the channel. In fact, I think we've got one early on in the day when they do play up against one moment. I'll just have a quick look, see who their first game of the Samoa Sevens campaign is. They've actually got a couple debuts. And by a couple, I mean about 10 out of the 13 men that they have got. Their first game is going to be Australia-Samoa. So that will be a good game. And we will be probably covering that one on the channel. So be sure to stick around for that one. And also, we'll get I agree, put him in the reserve fullback. And also, I'll be back soon, Brandon. And yeah, okay, I need an up and go. Says Brandon there as well. And yeah, currently MOANA Pasifika, they'll be consuming a few up and goes at the break, just making sure that they've got full of energy for the second half. It's going to be important that they keep that pace that the Highlanders are trying to propel forward. And with only 14 men out on the field, it's going to be a little bit tricky for them. And also, we have got the yes, let's go, boys in blue. And also, the All Black Sevens boys support the Blues and the All Blacks. And there as well is Tafatolo. And then alongside them, I guess, another team that are returning, it's Fiji, which is going to be very interesting to see how they go. And also, are you going to stream Sevens game? And this is Ed. We have got the plan of doing the earlier games of the Sevens. And that is going to be pretty much the games we are covering: Ireland versus Fiji, New Zealand versus Argentina, and Australia versus Samoa. Then from there, we do actually have the game that has taken place between New Zealand and Scotland. No, we don't. New Zealand and Wales, that is the slightly later game, and that actually fits into the gap between the last 2 Super Rugby games. And then other than that, I think that's all of the games for the first day. And then from there, we have got the games for the second day, which is going to be pretty much all of them that we can fit in. And also, I mentioned, do you read my message on the Discord about my account? I did. And I'm still confused at what's going on for it. I know that the only other way to probably do it is an Amazon gift voucher to purchase it through that. But I'm not too sure whether or not you can get them in New Zealand. I assume that you would be able to for New Zealand. But yeah, I still need to look into it a little bit more. I was going to ask YouTube, like, the best way to, like, kind of do it, because I was considering doing some sort of nice little thingy to get your membership for a little while it kind of sorts itself out. And All Blacks, we're playing Wales and Autumn Internationals as well as England. I did see that. They've got a couple very big games coming up. And Wales actually announcing their fixtures that they have got for the end of the year tour. They are going to be playing up against the All Blacks, like you mentioned there. They've also got, I believe, Australia. Georgia is another team that they will have coming up. and also be a good game tomorrow. And there says Bernie at Strawwell. And we've got 3 games back-to-back, the first of which at 4:35 p.m. New Zealand time. That will be between the Crusaders and the Hurricanes. Next game after that, it is the Chiefs versus Blues. And then the game after that, it is going to be the matchup taking place between the Brumbies and the Fijian Drua. And All Black Sevens have been out of top-level competition for 2 years. And this is MH Shaw. Yeah, the last time that they did play was actually the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. I believe their last game, July 28th. So almost a little while. And that one, and also we have got there, okay, mate, says David the Mod, and also we have got there Wales will play Australia too. There says Anonymous. So yeah, they've got quite a few big matches coming up for the Welsh, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. And also Australia versus England test is confirmed. Who will New Zealand face this year? I believe we have got Ireland, and then South Africa have got Wales. And then I think Scotland have Argentina as the other one. But France, I'm not too sure who France play, unless France have also got the Argentina kind of one. And also Wales have got the All Blacks and the Springboks this year. It'll be a laugh. This is the mission. Let's see how All Blacks fare in Singapore, HSBC 7s. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And like I mentioned, the Sunday we will be able to cover a majority of those games. We'll probably have little breaks in between just to make sure that the voice isn't too bad. But the quarterfinals at 4:28 p.m. onwards, we are covering all 4 quarterfinal matches. And then alongside that, we have got the 2 games of the semifinals a bit later on in the day. France are in Japan this summer. Oh, okay. So Japan are going to have a couple challenging games in a row there. And any cricket this weekend, I don't believe we've got any over the weekend, but we have got some on either Monday or Tuesday for the Bangladesh versus South Africa test match. We're hoping to cover kind of the later stages of that one, just with the amount of rugby that is going on. Also, hi, says Ali, welcome in. And also, the All Blacks versus Ireland test will be held in New Zealand. They will be indeed. So, yeah, 3-match series. But I don't know how's it going, Ali, says Sebastian. And I believe Wales versus South Africa is going to be in South Africa for that series. So that's not going to be very fun for Wales, I wouldn't think. But they're going to be all in July, and we will be covering every single one of them on the channel, rain or shine, day or night, which will be probably night for a majority of them, of those overseas games. But we're going to be here, and we are going to be doing the live commentary. So if you guys are new to this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We do Super Rugby. We do the URC, the Gallagher Premiership. What else have we got? We've got also the Champions Cup. I want to do a few of those games this weekend, depending on how the kind of overlap goes for it. And I David the Mod. And there says Ali Hills for that one also. I'm just going to have a look at the European Champions Cup games that are coming up just around the corner. I believe we've actually got a game tomorrow morning. We're not covering it on the channel, but it is Connacht versus Leinster, which should be a good game. Then from there, Bordeaux La Rochelle does overlap with another game, and Toulouse Ulster overlaps with another game, which is a shame because that was going to be a good game to watch as well. Then from there, Exeter versus Munster might actually be a game that we cover tomorrow night to see how we do end up going. And then Harlequins versus Montpellier the night after. Clermont versus Leicester after that. Going to be a fun time. And also, mate, who do you think will win the whole competition? And says Izzy. Okay, for me personally, the Crusaders are going to be hard to beat, but I'm enjoying seeing. I'm enjoying seeing so many teams challenging at the moment, and I think it's going to be when we see the Trans-Tasman games that really switch it up a little bit. But I'd say Crusaders or Chiefs at the moment are my 2 picks. But we'll have to wait and see how does end up going. And also doing well. Just listen to this guy's commentary in there. Says Sebastian, and also we have got there. Would you ever coach local rugby or at a school? I'd like to, but I probably don't know tactics as well as I should as a coach. But I guess it's all just learning, isn't it? The more you learn, the better you'd be at the job. And Tuesday, Wellington Hurricanes versus MOANA Pasifika. Yes, it is indeed. And also any latest news confirmation of the Rugby Championship this year. I know that has been announced roughly of the dates that are taking place. I'll have a quick look and see what I can tell you for that one. But it's going to be the 2 games for the All Blacks are in South Africa. I don't believe we get to see. I think Argentina might actually be hosting a couple games up against Australia. Yes, they are. So that first round is on the 6th of August with Australia taking on Argentina away from home, and then New Zealand taking on South Africa away from home. And then the last round will be taking place on September 25th. So pretty much we've got 1 week in between for September 4th and September 18th that the teams are traveling. And then also in August, there is a week in between where the teams are traveling just to get them to and fro from where they need. So Argentina, I believe New Zealand actually play Argentina maybe at home, I think, if I'm not wrong. And also Rugby May, yes. And there it says, Reed, there is certainly plenty of rugby coming up around the world. We have to wait and see how it actually goes for whether or not the voice lasts all of the months. Fingers crossed. I mean, I know that we got a day off or a week off. I think we've got a week off in about late June. I think we get like 3 days off, something like that, which will be quite nice. Oh, no, we don't, because actually, no, the test match is then. So never mind, forget that. I got the test match covering at that stage. So later in the year, I think we get our next stage. What a great way to spend your evening. And there it says it was Ali and also Pablo looks good in the Crusaders loose trio. He does. He's looking strong and he's looking focused at the moment for a season. And alongside him, Ethan Blackadder, and then you've also got Cullen Grace, who's found some very good form recently. It's going to be pretty awesome to see how they go for the later stages of the competition and whether or not they can get themselves towards that Super Rugby title. But either way, I see them in the top 8. Chiefs, I see in the top 8. Brumbies and Reds, I can see in the top 8. And then the Blues should also make their way through, I believe. And then other than that, it's more just a waiting game, see who ends up there. Waratahs are playing well, but it's whether or not they do play well up against the New Zealand sides as well to be able to get themselves up there. But currently now, it is sitting at halftime. We're about to get underway. For the second half, I'm at work. I need some sports commentary to survive the day. And there says Sebastian, and yeah, we've got plenty of it. We've got 2 games tonight, and then tomorrow it just gets a bit crazy. Overall, probably, I think we're doing about 16-hour day tomorrow of commentary. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And then the day after that, I think we got another 10-hour day or something like that. And predictions on Crusaders game tomorrow. I can see the Crusaders winning, but I also see the Hurricanes putting up a good fight at Sky Stadium with their home crowd advantage. Geordie Barrett at 12. I'm still learning that one because I get kind of why they're doing it, but at the same time, I don't really get why they're doing it, if that makes sense. Like, he's a world-class fullback, and they're like, you know what? We'll put in at fullback. Well, actually, it wasn't even Ruben Love that they've got at fullback for this game, is it? It's actually someone else that is going to be playing there, but it's going to be interesting to see how it ends up going. But by the sounds of it, that might be the game just about to get underway, and it's New Zealand close to making the Soccer World Cup, says Xavier. We do need to beat Costa Rica in about 65 days' time, and if we do, we go through to a group with Spain and Germany, so that's not very fun. But at least we'd be at the World Cup if we do win that game up against Costa Rica. I know that Australia have still got a couple games, don't they? In fact, maybe 3 games that they have got. The UAE, they have them in a 2-match series. And then from there, they do go on to face off against someone else who I can't quite think of at the moment. Is it Iran? No. I think Iran are already qualified at this point in time. But Christian Laliafano got the penalty over, also got the conversion. So MOANA Pasifika have not left any points out there on the field at this point in time, although Mitch Hunt, he's missed a couple kicks. So they could prove very costly for them later on. And also room for the Socceroos. And as I said for that one. And yeah, the women's side of things, I think they're actually playing tonight, aren't they? Now that I think about it, they've got their game up against the Football Ferns. And also that Crusaders backline is too scary. Mwanga Bridge, Havili Reese, Jordan are what they make. And the thing is, alongside that, Lester Fine Nuku's coming off the bench. So, it's not exactly a downgrade of having him come off the bench in the later stages. I'd say the only real, I guess, with all respect, downgrade would be Fergus Burke when he gets to go out there, just compared to Mwanga in terms of having that guy at number 10. But he's also a very talented player and fits in quite nicely with the attacking backline that the Crusaders have got for themselves. Currently, there is a fire barrel there. Is that inside of it? Is that inside of Forsyth Barr? Who lit a barrel inside of Forsyth Barr? That's not a smart option. Because where's the smoke going to go? Hopefully, it's outside of the stadium. And now, currently, they are showing the zoo. They do have very good attendance for this game. Also, a mullet for a youngster in there. And Australia versus Peru. We beat the UAE. Geez, so that's not easy either, having that Peruvian game coming up. But hopefully, Australia can get there. I feel like if New Zealand get there, I want to see Australia there as well, just because it's going to be pretty awesome watching all of them. They are just tryhards and there as well. Says Paddy Wagon, also the UAE, that one as well. But Penetoa Finau looks like currently he is rocking a bit of a black eye, bit of a shiner. I think he got cut above there, and it is starting to swell up just a little bit. But the whole tide for MOANA Pasifika is unchanged from that first half. Whereas for the Highlanders in that first half, they had to make 2 changes. Shannon Frizzell going off the field. That was due to injury. So Gareth Evans made his way out there early. Oh, actually, Sekope Kepu, is off the field. So that will be Chris Apua who's out there now. As for you, or question for you, Hamish, what do you think I'm going to live for Rugby Sevens? Jesse, think? And yeah, I assume that you will be, more than likely, because you have been doing Rugby Sevens competitions on Rugby Challenge for about 3 months or so. So I feel like now that the real stuff is back, you are definitely going to be live for it, more than likely. Currently now it's going to be available here for MOANA PASIFIKA. NRE goes back to William Havili. Kicks it towards the touchline. Does find the hands of Sam Gilbert. Now fires it back across into the hands of Marino Makalitu. Going straight through, breaking a couple tackles, but Chris Apua able to drag him down alongside NRE. Aaron Smith looking for the ball. He couldn't see it because it had popped out the side of the breakdown. And because of it now, it's been stolen. Nice bounce pass to Tala. No, wide just into touch there. And it will be the line out now for the Highlanders. Currently, MOANA PASIFIKA, they've got another 6 minutes left of that yellow card. So they're going to have to make sure that they don't concede any points in that time, or else then it might just be a little bit too much of a mountain to climb for themselves. So women's international football, when does that kick off? At the moment, I think it was tonight, wasn't it? Although I don't see it. Sky Sport, what we got? At the moment, I see that the Cowboys are beating the Warriors in the early stages. Or is it actually, sorry, it might be, oh no, it's 9:45 p.m. Australia women versus New Zealand women when that game is kicking off. And on Rugby Challenge, no, the Fiji tournament as well. And there, as well, says Brandon. The Fiji tournament, I assume that is the last week's one, possibly. And no, so New Zealand, Australia, and Wales could all be at the Soccer World Cup. They could be. That's the thing, Wales, I always thought Wales were a lot more highly ranked, but I guess when they're slotted into that Europe group, like, it's always going to be tough. I remember Wales, like, one name that I think of straight away, it probably annoys a lot of people, but I think of Gareth Bale. And then also, is Aaron Ramsey, is he Welsh? No, he might not be, actually. He might be English. But yeah, do they still have Gareth Bale fleshing, or has he retired? He must be close to retirement at the moment for him. Currently now, Josh Dixon calling the shots in the line out. They go to the front. In fact, no, they go to the middle. Taken nicely there by was Max Hicks. Replacement, and Ramsey is Welsh. He is Welsh. I thought. See, that's the thing. For some reason, who's the English midfielder? Oh, I'm thinking of Jordan Henderson. Actually, I'm getting those two confused. They kind of look similar, but also at the same time, kind of not. And their names aren't similar. Currently now, Aaron Smith about to kick this one high from the halfway line. Puts it up. It's going to be a good kick downfield, taken nicely. And also, he's going well. And as else is fleshing. So I feel like I need to watch more international football. Definitely heading into the World Cup when it does come up later on in the year. Hopefully we can do a few of the live streams of those matches on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. So anyone who hasn't subscribed to that, put a comment up there in the top corner is where you can find it now. Going for Jermaine Ainsley, stealing that one nicely. And now the Highlanders have got a backline opportunity for Dooley Pyer. One more past the ball gunner than Bishop. He didn't quite find that pass on his outside. And it would have been a 1-on-none there. It's a penalty to the Highlanders, though. And Joe says, I am so sad not. And as I says Brandon, well, that one. So I guess he won't be tuning into any of your live streams anytime soon, Brandon, if he is an angry boy. But Levi Moore, player 11 feet, is the one who's penalised here. He's disappointed. And now the Highlanders once again will be kicking this one for the corner. Now, Mosisi Dawai, he's got 2 tries so far. Can he get a third and get himself that hat-trick? We've actually already seen, I believe it's 2 or 3 hat-tricks throughout the season already. I know that the first one, who got the first one actually? I know that the second one was Leicester Whainanoku. Who got the first hat-trick in the competition? Was it a forward? No. It was one of the backs, and I can't remember his name now, and it's really going to annoy me. No one asks for soccer. There's rugby, and there says Richard. And that one, and also whether MOANA can win, says Boba. They're still pretty close at this stage. So as long as they do defend here very well, we're going to have to wait and see how it does end up going. But currently now, Andrew Makaleo, if he gets this one, that will be his second try of the match, and he will move closer to the hat-trick and might have a chance this time. And that's what they certainly do, as long as they don't concede a try right now. Andrew Makaleo, they're going to have to use that one. Aaron Smith's got his hands on the ball. Now they're starting to go forward again. Oh, he's gone over. Andrew Makaleo. And he does end up scoring the try. And that is a big moment for the Highlanders. The thing is, I believe MOANA PASIFIKA slightly took that one too casually because they thought that they were going to start using their back line. But they didn't. They just held it there, waited a little bit longer lured that defensive line out, and then from there, one last little push. So they pretty much stopped. They had the advantage, and then from there, they just sat there. And it was only 1 or 2 men defending about 5 of the Highlanders, so that was never going to work out for MOANA Pasifika. And now the Highlanders have got themselves just a little bit more of a lead. As we have got there, I am doing all the Fiji thing last 2 months. And there, as says Brandon, currently now it's going to be Mitch Hunt lining up this one. He is ready to go. Right, he isn't the best kicking and smart mover target. It was very well done. They decided to just wait patiently, wait for MOANA Pasifika, because they also ended up kind of wheeling off the side a little bit. So it meant that they did end up with a couple of men doubled up, I think. Oh, speaking of doubled up, Angus Gardner. He's going upstairs. They're going to be checking something for the TMO. Okay, just as he put it down, they're checking something here. Okay, it might have been on the hip of Blue 2. Okay, so they're actually going to be checking this one. This might not be the second try for Andrew Makalao. It's on-field try. Oh, TMO. Because you Hamish, what time do New Zealand start? And then so their first game, it is going to be taking place tomorrow at, I believe they're about a 3:10 game. 3:06 p.m. And that will be Argentina versus New Zealand for that matchup. Right, we're looking at it. Andrew Makalao. Oh, he's let go of the ball there. No wonder it looked like they were going to use their back line, because Aaron Smith had it, and then he gave it back. That's considered as a forward pass. So that's going to be a no try. So Aaron Smith, because he had that hand on the ball, he actually took it off Andrew Makalao and then gave it back to him. I don't think you're allowed to do that. So because of it now, Andrew Makalao has just got himself the 1 try. And we will go like that as well. And I'll say, hey, no try. And then I just realized I accidentally gave Mosisi Dawai a 3rd try, although he has not got himself a 3rd at this point in time. But a no try that is massive for MOANA Pasifika. But you can see that it was taken cleanly by Aaron Smith. Passes it back to Andrew Makalao. There's separation, and that is going to be the no try. Okay, they're going to go for the scrum there. My voice is really struggling at the moment. It's going up and down all over the place. I'm going to have to drink plenty of water tonight, I think. And also, do you interested in streaming FIFA games? And there as well says, are we talking FIFA World Cup, or are we talking FIFA as in the game? Do let me know. But I had plans of doing the New Zealand games that they did have, but unfortunately it was just a random hour. Australia 7s versus France 7s tomorrow at 7 p.m. And there as well, one more, we'll have a look. Australia playing Spain at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Well, and also, so if he had not taken the hand off the ball, it would have been a try. Yep. So pretty much, I need a miniature rugby ball. I think George has got that one. What we got? One moment. I got a cushion. So pretty much, Andrew Makalao, he had the ball like that. He was holding on to it. Aaron Smith was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have that." So he let go of it. It's back there. This isn't my hand anymore. But he let go of it, and then they were like, "All that rolling ball's moving." There you go, Andrew. And then he went over. That makes sense. Hopefully. And now it's a line out here for the Highlanders, and they're actually only 5 meters out. They still have that advantage. So now Andrew Makalao is going to have another go. Oh, his ankle was taken out just before he got to the line. Currently now the ball bouncing out. Who wants it? At this stage, it looks like it's going to be maybe Jermaine Ainsley. Does get the carry. No, instead they go to Scott Gregory crashing at the line. He's going to be going down just short once again here. And Jermaine Ainsley still lurking. I'm looking at him very, very closely at the moment. I don't see Ethan de Groot anywhere. They're going back for the penalty. There he is. He's up the top side. And maybe New Zealand versus Costa Rica. Hopefully doesn't overlap with anything else here. That game's going to be a good one. So hopefully we are able to do that game. Although I am a little bit worried. They've won all their games. And if I do that game and they lose, I'll feel like it's slightly my fault, even though it's like up against really tough opposition. So, like, they're probably not expected to win it. But, double blow of the whistle, and that is for Jermaine Ainsley, who has stayed down currently with a bit of an ankle injury. If Eddie Jones wins the 2023 World Cup for England, he'll be regarded as a better coach than 2003 winning coach Clive Woodward. Or Woodward, sorry. That's quite a tongue twister, that last name. Straight on the ball. Was it? Okay. Pinatoa Fino, they are saying he didn't release, which is why it is still going to be. Oh, in fact, sorry, they're going back for the offside penalty this game. But currently, It looks like maybe the replacement will have to be made. It will be Sola Ma'u makes his way out there if the man is unable to continue, which it does look like Jermaine Ainsley. They're probably going to just try and strap his ankle back together and go from there. Now, Romanji's back in the commentary box. Bit of a trick shot there from Tony Brown. I don't know what that was in his cup, but pretty much he popped it up, caught it, and then put it in his mouth. And Aussie, everyone become a soccer fan every 4 years for the World Cup in there as well. So he said, yeah, it's a massive occasion. And that's the thing. Normally throughout the season, like I'll watch the A-League. I try and watch a bit of the Premier League other than the fact that it's like the middle of the night and it's called football. And then he says, it depends on what part of the world that you are from. It's kind of a mixture of both. Type thing, such as gridiron American football even do get overlapped a little bit, but now it's going to be 5 meters out from the line here, going for the rolling maul perhaps, and trying to get this one going forward. Andrew Makalari has got that one at the back. He's looking for that second try. He's been close a couple times. He just hasn't quite been able to do so. Now Aaron Smith pierces himself to the short side. He gets wrestled out by it was big Ezekiel Lindenmuth. He gets right in the face of Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith says, look at the scoreboard, mate. Lyndon Murphy's fired up at the moment. And I know it's called football. And there's us, Sebastian, for that one. And Aaron Smith, he was wrestled out. And I think Ezekiel Lyndon Murphy just put his arms straight in his face, shows him his guns, and says, mate, I was able to force you out there. And then Aaron Smith, he laughs, says, look at the scoreboard. I think Ezekiel Lindenmouth might have said, wait for the scoreboard, the end of the game. Or something along those lines, because he did seem like he said scoreboard. Even with them, like that's the thing, mouth guards are quite tricky, but they also make it so that people have to really emphasize their face, or else you can't understand what they're saying. So like you can kind of lip read a bit better. It's over the back, taken not so cleanly. It's a little scrum, or not straight there from Moana Pasifika. Now, because of Aaron Smith, if he scores a try now, he'll probably try and get in the face of Ezekiel Lindenmuth and see how that ends up for him. It was just not quite straight enough there for Moana Pasifika. Currently 48 minutes into this game. The next game that has taken place tonight, it is going to be in the situation of, it is actually Rebels versus Western Force. Sorry, boys, we have Australian football in Australia. So as for myself, I call it soccer. And there is ZZ and also USA call it soccer and Aussies. And I think it's called soccer here as well by a majority of people. Just because I guess, like, I don't know. I think it's because we do have, no, I don't really know why it's called it over here. I think it's just the easy thing to do. Now, currently, Connor Garden Bishop sitting there in the back of nowhere's head. We're just having a laugh at the football soccer argument will never end. And also, soccer is soccer. Football means AFL. And there is says Xavier. Currently, now Marina Mikaeli too goes back off the scrum. Still only 5 minutes out. It's possible for Moana, says Bola. It certainly is, as long as they can defend this try opportunity here for the Highlanders. Currently only a few meters out. Ethan de Groot. Big carry forward, shut down, driven backwards by the big Moana Pasifika forwards. Now passing it back across. Still going to be available. Aaron Smith goes back across to Gareth Evans. As that his ankle's taken out from underneath him. Or knock on from Connor Garden Bishop. Now that I think about it, is that why they call it the FIFA World Cup rather than the Football or Soccer World Cup, just so that no one has that argument? Like, I know that in FIFA there is football, but I think a lot of people just call it the FIFA World Cup just to save any type of disagreement. As you say, there's about 3 players down at the moment, possibly with injuries. Levi Amoa looks like his leg's a little bit tired. The stage, it looks like Reece Marshall making his way out onto the field. And then also it will be Aiden Johnson making his way out there for Ethan de Groot. And they've been working hard. No, FIFA is the governing body like ICC. And there's C. Sebastian. What's it? The International Football Association or something like that, but I can't think of the first F. The thing of football. And Yanks call it soccer because of American football fact. And as I says, and also we have got the English called it soccer first and then changed it to football ages back. So he's fleshing. There you go, a little bit of history about it there. But currently now the possession, it is less for Moana Pasifika here for the second half, which is pretty unfortunate for them. as they did actually have more in the first half. They're currently trapped inside of their own 22, and they need to try and get out of there. Some stage, quite a few Samoa, Tonga, and New Zealand flags in the crowd by the looks of it. There is well and truly some support here for Moana Pasifika as they try and get a little bit closer. But a couple more subs might get changed. It might be Denis Solomona, who does make his way out relatively soon, with Vilamoni Karoi and also Falau Whakatawa. Come on, Moana. And there says Tafatolo. If they can do so, it would be pretty awesome. Or Tafatolu. Tolu, I believe it is, rather than Low, isn't it? No worries. Biba, maybe you like football. And there's a it's got a few fancy things. Fédération Internationale de Football Association. Is it French? Fédération. It's kind of French, isn't it? Even though that's probably not how they'd say it. But now at the moment, 15 minutes gone in this game. Marino Michele too, still looking focused at the moment. Same with Josh Dixon. Both of those guys are going to have to put in the shift for the rest of this game, as they've already used up Max Hicks and Gareth Evans as the two subs that they were able to make. They were both due to injury. So the Highlanders, one thing that is for sure, yes, they might be bottom of the table for points, but they're certainly top of the table for the amount of injuries that they have throughout a season. And yes, I think French. And there, as I said, no moment, it's a good push from Moana Pasifika, but a good counter from the Highlanders. They get the penalty there. And now, I believe Aaron Smith is very happy with this big forwards, and they'll be kicking this one for the touchline. As Leonardo's Francais. And there, and we from Obi. But now they will be kicking this one more than likely for the corner. Yes, they are. I would have actually considered taking 3 points here soon for the Highlanders, although you've got them trapped inside of their 22 with the potential of getting another yellow card, which I think is why they decided the corner is the option. But also, you're only leading by 7 points. And 10 points would be a lot nicer to have as you lead. But they want to keep the pressure on Moana Pasifika, see if they can slowly and methodically wear them down. Reece Marshall, his first line-out throw of the day. It's about to have it. He gets the ball, he gets the towel, and now he is going to be ready to go for this line-out throw. It all rhymes. But now Reece Marshall, those and it looks like they might be considering going for that rolling maul once again, taken nicely by Josh Dixon, and the rolling maul begins. Currently, Jermaine Ainsley, he's still out on the field, the only front row replacement, or that hasn't been made actually, and it's French, but the FIFA headquarters is not in France, it's in Switzerland. And there as well. Switzerland, very nice region of the world, a very nice country of the world, I should say, but very nice up in the northern hemisphere. Close to the line here. They're actually defending it very nicely. So, of course, and there says Boba close. They're going to be held up, and he's wrestled down onto his back. No, he's got his hands down. And that's going to be the try now. Who is it? Someone underneath. It might be the replacement, Reece Marshall, is it? No, maybe not. Yes, it was. Was it Reece Marshall or was it James Lynch? They're showing about 3 different guys. Okay, it's Reece Marshall who was able to score the try. Marshall, there we go. I believe Moana Pasifika, if they end up getting any more advantages against them, more than likely they will have another man going to the bin, unfortunately, which not be too easy for them in the later stages. And is it in French because the Frenchman started it? Or is it in French? Or sorry, is it in French because a Frenchman started it? It's a good question. Maybe the first F initially stood for the French International Football Association. And then they're like, hang on, should probably get other people involved too. We're sick of playing ourselves in the football department. Carly Machant, 69% probability. I would give it about a 48, seeing as he has missed quite a few of his kicks so far, Machant, but he's due to get one. There's no wind and a bliss. And there, as I says, Eliza, welcome into the live stream. Hope you are doing well. And can't be the English invented football. And there, as I says, Sebastian. And then William Webb Ellis, of course, gracing us with this beautiful game known as rugby. As he didn't want to play football anymore. He picked up the ball and he ran with it. And everyone was like, what's this guy doing? He doesn't know the rules, does he? That's where it came from. 53 and a half minutes through the spirit fingers. They haven't been working tonight. Everyone needs to stop doing the spirit fingers. He just keeps missing them. And I'm back as well, says Amelia. Welcome back. If you are doing right, Mitch Hunt for another kick of the day. Strikes it. It's at the post. It has come back out. Stop doing the spirit fingers. He's going to start a petition that says no one in Dunedin's allowed to do spirit fingers while I'm about to kick and runaway keeper. And as I says, Obi, I once did that when I used to play a football. I almost ran up to like probably 30 or 40 meters out from the goal, not realizing how far I had run with the ball in hand. And they actually took a penalty from the like kind of edge of the box. Did save it. Little flex. We lost that game 3-2, unfortunately, so it wasn't that great. Currently now, Scott Gregory charging himself forward just a little bit further. He's wrestled down by Tima Whaiananuku, who has lost that headgear strapping that I mentioned a little bit earlier on. Marina Makele too. I see also Sam Gilbert taken off the field. And that was actually for Denis Solomon to make his way out there. And also, yes, a bit of Frenchman organised FIFA in there as well. Now it's a wild pass inside of the 22. Scott Gregory's got this one. A lot of pressure on him. He's been hit hard in the tackle by Alamana Matanga. And also, it was Tamoti Tawatawanawai knock-on advantage here for Moana Pasifika. Levi Moore trying to go around the side now. Enery using the back line, going across into the hands of Danny Tuala. Pop pass up to, I believe it was William Havili joining up with the line. Enery looking to the short side. Nice bit of draw past Christian Leliafano. Pass on the outside. And Tima Whaiananuku scores the try for Moana Pasifika. I think they're going to be checking that last pass. They say it's all right. And Tima Whaiananuku might have just been able to get himself that try, although it looks like they are going upstairs just to check it. We're going to add Tima Whaiananuku. There we go. And he did score it in the 56th minute, somewhere around there. If it is a try, that is. We got to wait and see whether or not they will say that this was forward. You'd have to argue it drifted forward, but it's whether or not the hands are backwards, like they're saying. Like they're saying it's coming backwards out of the hands. So they're going to say it's not a forward pass. Now, that rule always confuses people. Like they initially think if it is pretty much going ahead of the guy, but they're saying that because of the momentum of him going forward, when he flicks it, it goes backwards. So that is going to be the try, and that's probably going to be quite a few boos from the Highlanders. Also, you can just call me Tougher. And there's all right, I will remember that because I guess you've seen that the last part of your name, sometimes I do get a little bit stumped there. But yeah, whereabouts do you think Samoa will finish on the sevens, I should ask? 16 teams. Whereabouts do you think they will be able to end up in the end with so many debuts? I hope they do well, somehow make it to the quarterfinals, although I think more than likely they might get knocked out just beforehand, just because there's some quite tough teams in their group. And they've also got Spain, who are a bit of a dark horse in the sevens. And will New Zealand be at the World Cup? Says Obi, are we talking about football World Cup? Because if so, they have to beat Costa Rica. And then they join the group with Spain and Germany. That's a brilliant kick from Christian Leliafano. That one's gone over now. The score 17 points to Moana Pasifika and 11-22 for the Highlanders. And the ball can go forward, but your hand before your pass has to be going backwards. Yeah, so pretty much if you're going like that, then it can drift forward as long as you've initially intended for it to go backwards. It's just kind of that momentum. I see it was founded in Paris, but then moved the headquarters to Switzerland. And then I was at the shops and decided to treat myself and bought an 8-pack of UEFA match attacks cards. And I know that F. Paul says, yep. So not exactly going to be easy for us if we do somehow make it through. That's a big knock on there from Tawatawanawai. And now Gregory has got this one inside of the 22 for the Highlanders, and they look to strike straight away. Ma'u on the field now. That was replacing Jermaine Ainsley. Ball on the outside. Marina Makele too. Now out to Connor Garden Bishop. Stepping nicely. I almost just choked. Now currently 22 metres out. Levi Moore off the field. That's actually for Lincoln McClutchy. I do see so. Interesting choice. And do you collect football cards and stickers? Amelia and there, Sebastian, and also the Matildas are playing against New Zealand tonight as a friendly match ahead of it. Oh, but I'm missing because I'm going to be watching the Mighty Rebels play. Don't worry, we will keep you updated on that game as well while it is going on. Alongside probably the NRL fixture that has taken place as well. Aaron Smith missed the penalty, but he had to try and roll out of there. Therefore, Solomoni Funaki. Now going back, Dixon off to Mitchan, trying to step around the Tero Tale. What to drag him down. Still only 10 metres out from the line here for the Highlanders as they continue putting phase after phase. They're up to 5 now, still with advantage. And yeah, but not often. And there's his Amelia. Now Ma'u goes back across. I completed the 2014 FIFA World Cup Panini album. Still proud of that, says Sebastian. Well, that one, that's going to be, I believe, knocked on yesterday. So they're going back for the initial penalty in favour of the Highlanders. And more than likely, they will kick for the corner once again. Although, you'd have to argue, taking the 3 will get into 8 points. I'm currently itching my nose. It's very itchy on top, and Moana can win. And there's his Boba. It's going to be tricky, but they've still got a chance. They're within 5 at this point in time. They're kicking it for the corner here for the Highlanders. They're after that bonus point. You need 3 or more tries than your opposition. They're going to need quite a few in this last 20 minutes to be able to do so. Because I like soccer, I found an interest in collecting match attacks, same way I started collecting the Virgin River books. I'm still salty that I can't find any of the books I don't have in the shop. Says Amelia, have you tried, like, I know that New Zealand we got Trade Me. Have you got the equivalent of Trade Me in Australia? I'm not too sure what you guys' equivalent is. Facebook Marketplace, I guess. You might be able to have a look, see what you can find. And also, that's actually very, really impressive, Sebastian. And there says Flesh In. See, I don't really know too much about the kind of football cards and whatnot, but I feel like I actually have a few from someone from Germany a while ago. They sent them to me. I have no idea who actually is on them. I think I know a few of the players. There were a few that I wasn't too sure if. This looks like it's going to go down just short of the line here. They've been told to use it once for the Highlanders. It is collapsed out, and that ball's not going to be available. Aaron Smith played as a halfback, but it was already stuck in there. Now, because of it, it is going to be the scrum feed for MOANA Pasifika. I have the set. I have the full set of Garbage Pail Kids cards. And I haven't quite heard of them. I used to have Draco heads, if you guys know what that is. And then also, what else have I got? Oh, we used to have those Bluebird rugby cards, if you guys remember that, the ones who live in New Zealand. And also, no Stripe Boys says tougher. And also, yeah, but they take forever to arrive. So I usually end up going to the shop itself because it makes it more fun. I have like 5 more I need to get to finish my collection, says Amelia. Aaron Smith now. Okay, he's going to be taken off the field. I believe that is for Falau Fakatava. I don't know whether or not that's an HIA or whether they are making that sub now. Okay. Yawning, big time. Falau Fakatava, he's back out on the field now, excited after his long layoff. He will now have another opportunity this season. He's already in about 3 games. And, I mean, overall, it seems like anytime he has a game, he does play well. It's just getting enough minutes because Aaron Smith normally does get priority. Now, Finn now going off the field. That is going to be for Sione Tuipulotu. Now, MOANA Pasifika, they actually were able to win themselves a scrum penalty very recently in Caltech's Rugby coin collection in their All Black Samoa final, says Tougher. Imagine the scenes if that was the case. That would be absolutely incredible. You wouldn't know all. Okay, question for you. Who would you go for, Samoa or the All Blacks? I feel like Samoa would take priority there maybe, but who knows? I guess either way, you'd be happy because both sides can be making it through, trying to take this one quickly. Almost for the Highlanders, they decide against it, though. And also go MOANA Pasifika. Lincoln McClutchy came on the field for Levi Amua. There's a dangerous individual, and there's like 19 books in the series if you don't include the 2 short stories. If you then there is 21 books. The Virgin River series, a long series, that is for sure. And also, as Tonga in the 7s tomorrow, they are not. Sadly, we are missing Tonga, but we have got Samoa, Fiji, and New Zealand all back and ready to go. And also, we have got there, he can win. MH Joy in there, and a converted try shall do the trick, says MH Joy for MOANA Pasifika. And yeah, at the moment, they are going to be defending once again. They have had to do a lot of it in the second half. Mitch Hunt now going for the little kick. MOANA doesn't work out, but they've given away another advantage there, MOANA Pasifika. Good lead drive from Tavatava Nawai. They're going back for the penalty. Double blow. Oh, double blow. The whistle does not sound good for MOANA Pasifika. Does that normally either mean subs or maybe, wow, 14 penalties against MOANA Pasifika here. And Tava might be onto something. I have a feeling someone will throw in the blitz box this weekend, says Sebastian. Yeah, it's certainly going to have to be in their quarterfinal, isn't it? In fact, I'm going to have a quick look and see who they would play in their quarterfinal matchup because they get a relatively easy pool, you'd have to say. And also, we've got that way, don't be negative, be positive. You never know who will win in there, says Richard, for that one. And also, we've got another thing you might have learned is that the people who don't know me really well don't shut up about Virgin River because they brought joy back into my life and, more importantly, my love for reading in there. And also, we've got there, I'm talking to Bernie, and there says Richard for that one as well. Oh, Avatara Nawa getting struck straight on the nose there. By the looks of it, Mitch Hunt, now they are taking on the 3 points. This is what I thought that they might have considered doing for the last one. It will give them an 8-point lead if Mitch Hunt does get it over. Is the Spirit Fingers going to be prominent for this one? Because everyone has been going like this, and Mitch Hunt's been going like this with all sorts of directions from the kicking tee. But he will be hoping to get this one right, I would think. And also, we have the regards sports, please, geez. And there as well, says Obi for that one. But currently looking through at the quarterfinals. I'm just going to have a quick look to see who they would play. Right, so the quarterfinals, first in Pool B, it plays second in Pool C, first in Pool D. Okay, so it's Pool D and A and Pool B and C, which does mean for Singapore, right, Mitch Hunt about to kick this one. And Aussie the Kiwis miss the South African teams. I do. I think that is the same as a lot of people, though. Like, just missing the fact that we don't get to see that physical South African rugby here. Like, luckily for me, I guess I make up for it with watching the URC and the Curry Cup, so I get to see it anyway. But some people may have no idea what's going on in South African rugby at the moment. Right. So I have news. Whoever comes top of Pool A will face the top of Pool D, which could be Fiji or Ireland or France or Japan. So that will be whoever's second in that group. So it's going to be a tricky one. And New Zealand, they might actually have Samoa in the quarterfinals, depending on how it ends up going. As everybody isn't the same without the South African sides. And there's Obi still had some falling outs with players. I witnessed them. And there's Sebastian on that one. But currently, from the halfway line, about to pass it around the side. And also we've got the Highlanders really need a win, says Amelia. They certainly do, and more for a bonus point, says Max Cottle. And yeah, just trying to extend it a little bit more. 8 points is the difference between these two sides. So MOANA Pasifika once again sitting about 35 metres out. Waikato pass into the hands of Solomoni Funaki. Offloads it to no one. It goes into touch. And now the Highlanders have got themselves another opportunity for a line out. I believe that's Ben O'Keefe on the touchline. He says he's not sure who it's off, so I think they're going to be checking this one. But second half position currently, 73% for the Highlanders. That is a huge number to have in this sevens. And 81% of the territory. Go MOANA Pasifika, go, says Samisi there. And as I said, Highlanders will win. And that one, as I said, Betty, and also gosh, right points. MOANA need to score twice now to win. 8 points, says the EMH. So yeah, definitely they need one try. And then if they can get themselves a 3-pointer, they might be able to take the lead. If not, one unconverted try and 3 points would get them to a golden point game once again. And I was like, I'll take on anyone when they attack its teams. There's Sebastian. Currently now 65 metres out from the line now. And it also not 65 metres out, but 65 minutes into this game. Christian Leliafano still out there. He is first receiver. I believe they've got Lincoln McClutchy as the other option there, alongside Finney and Nisi as the midfield. So a whole change midfield for MOANA Pasifika. And the defensive side of things, it's anyone's game at this rate. It certainly is. Palau Fakatava trying to break his way through. He's offloaded it to Gregory. It looked marginally forward. Although I know also we have got there been a long time. I will see how the boys in blue play. Yeah, they've got 4 or 3. Yeah, I think it's 4 or 3 guys that aren't on debut, which is pretty insane. The fact that they've got that little experience, but still, I'm still thinking highly of Samoa because they've got that brutal style of just crash ball, whacking into people. Thank you, Amelia, for being that one person on this chat. And as I says, Richard, for this one, but currently 66 minutes in, 8 minutes left, or not 8 minutes left. Oh, okay. So there's actually only going to be about 8 minutes left by the time that man gets to go back out onto the field. It's going to be a yellow card here for MOANA Pasifika. Too many penalties against them. Rupini has said go MOANA Pasifika. At this stage, that is going to make it just a little bit more challenging for the next 10 minutes. But that means the last 4 minutes, they're going to have a guy coming back from the bin who will be fresh. Alamanda Batanga is off there. And I was like, to be fair, I was just trolling him. And there's says Obi, but now currently it is going to be Max Hicks, who is getting a little bit of attention. They said, let's go, or they said, let's go, but he's currently getting strapped up. And Mitch Hunt, he will be kicking this one for the touchline. 7 second half penalties against MOANA Pasifika compared to the 0 of the Highlanders. It's very tough for them. And I was like, Mike, I see him, and there says Obi, and also the Highlanders will win. And as I says, Patty, for that one, but currently now it is going to be 5 metres out from the line, and it's going to be 14 minutes left. Go MOANA, and there says Boba for that one. Currently now 9 minutes 30 of that yellow card. That's going to feel like a long time for them, definitely because they're only 5 metres out. They're just waiting for Max Hicks's ankle to get strapped up right. If the Highlanders have any brains, they won't go to Max Hicks here. You don't want to throw up a guy who's just had a hope of strapping on his ankle and really test it out. Definitely not when you've got no replacement. Oh, they've gone to him. They've put him down not so nicely either. Hopefully he is going to be all right. I guess it's a good way of going around, and you're going to be crying at the end when MOANA will win. And there, as I says, Richard, for that one. Now it's a rolling maul for the Highlanders Only a couple metres out from the line. They've got another Highlanders advantage. Fakatava goes himself, scores a try. And the Highlanders have taken even more of a lead now. We will go like this, and we will go like that, and it is another try, and this time it's for Lau Fakatava, who has been able to go over the line, and you'd have to say that that gap now might get a little bit too big for MOANA Pasifika with only 12 minutes left on the board. That is a brilliant try indeed for him, and we will go like that, and we will go like that as well. The rolling maul has been so effective for the Highlanders throughout the day. Now the Highlanders, they are going to be able to go over the line for a little bit more and game over. And there as well, says Kawasi. And also there, all I can say is be prepared for me to rage when the Rebels play. And there as well. And Petty, he's getting in there a little bit, although it was terrible timing, wasn't it? And it's finished. And there as I says, Bowie, yeah, it does look relatively close at this stage with the fact that that is another try for the Highlanders. MOANA Pasifika, though, the bonus point could still be on the cards. If they get another try and some sort of points after that, they will be within that 7. In fact, if Mitch Hunt misses this kick, they will be within the 7 also if they do get themselves a converted try. And also, I find my own reactions to when the Royals play funny AF. And there as well, I'll roll there as well, says Richard. Richard's not a very happy man at the moment. He was obviously back in Moana. Whether or not he had money on it, I guess, is a different story. And it presents Amelia's Rap featuring the Melbourne Rebels. See, Sebastian, you did actually mention that you've got an Instagram that you used to do like the reels on, how you just pretty much do a, I guess, summary of the game type thing. Currently now, it's going to be Mitch Hunt lining up this kick. Like they're saying, he's hit the post twice so far, Mitch Hunt. Spirit fingers. Oh, he's missed again. He's had a shocker with that kick. He's given himself a round of applause. He's the only one. And now currently he's actually getting booed by some Highlanders supporters in the background. That's not nice for Mitch Hunt. And also Legend. And there as well says Amelia. And also, and what? No try noob in there as well for Falau Fakatava. And he put it down. Did end up scoring the try. They checked it. They said that it's all right. And now he has been able to get himself his first try of the match. He's only been on there for a short amount of time for that one as well. Max 6 knocks it on. Nicely taken by the Highlanders. It's Denny Solomona. Once again, tries to drive his way forward. He's going to have to release that ball, and he does just that. Second half points, the Highlanders have got 13. MOANA Pasifika have got themselves 17 for that one. And also we've got that 30-17, non-25-17. There we go. It has just updated itself. What happened, Petty? Your team is weak. I just got rolled there as well. Petty doesn't go for the Highlanders at this stage. He's actually a different Super Rugby team supporter. It's going to be the penalty there for MOANA Pasifika. Currently now it is going to be very nicely done by MOANA Pasifika. Josh Dixon just round the side of the breakdown. I think he also may have lost his footing a little bit, which didn't quite help for himself there. But Lincoln McClutchy now kicking it for the touchline. They're going to be trying to go over. If they get 2 converted tries here for MOANA Pasifika in the last 10 minutes, they will win this game. But it's going to be tricky to do that, is for sure. But if anyone can do it, we've seen, I mean, the Fijian Drua scored 3 tries in 5 minutes in their game. And also, what, bro, where do you live? And as I says, Richard, definitely not Dunedin. He's actually from the North Island, Richard. So, yeah, not actually his team in this matchup. And he's actually, I think he almost goes for MOANA Pasifika more than the Highlanders. So I think you're kind of friendly firing in that one. And now currently, Enari taking it quite nicely on the halfway line. There's a little knock-on advantage for the Highlanders here, as it was just not quite cleanly claimed by the Highlanders at line-out time. Now looking like he's going to go around the side. Lincoln McClutchy gives it off now to Polinaiti. He's had a big day so far throughout the stages. It's fun to mess with kids. And as I says, Betty Wagon for that one. Currently still available. Enari passes it back across. Lincoln McClutchy goes for a little chip and chase. He's going to be sitting up. Cornered Garden. Betcher been able to take it clean. It's an advantage here for Enari. My voice is really starting to disappear at this point in time. We've still got another game a little bit later on in about an hour's time. That will be the game between the Western Force and also the Rebels. And I live on Earth Y. And he says, Patty over the top of Tawatawa Nawai, but they're going back for the initial knock-on. And it will be going back for the scrum now. But good cover from Denny Solomona. Just a little bit too much on that cross kick for MOANA Pasifika. I do see, is that Kalamatangi in the background? I don't think he's actually playing for this game, but it's a very talented man. The position currently in this game, the Highlanders have had 13 minutes of time in the opposition 22. That is absolutely insane. That's like, I think, the most that I've seen someone have in there as well. And also we've got the tackle completion. I don't know whether or not that's at me, Richard, but she's out in the kitchen at the moment, so we're all good there. Currently 72 minutes in, and Jonathan Tamatine making his way out onto the field now to join up with his side. So that is replacing Enery for that matchup. And also be prepared to face the wrath of Amelia raging at the Rebels. And there's Amelia as well. Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be an interesting fixture. I know that the Rebels are underdogs, but they've certainly got the potential of being able to make their way towards another win here. And if they do, I believe they almost get themselves into the top 4. Or sorry, not the top 4, the top 8. In fact, if they win that one, they will go above the Highlanders and also maybe above the Hurricanes, and Highlanders pulling away already. And the SS Sammy Sosa, yeah, we knew that they were going to finish the match pretty well for themselves, but we're going to have to wait and see exactly how this match is going to be ending. I hope to see Moana Pasifika get a bonus point. They fought hard, and also with the fact they're only 13 points down, with having 2 yellow cards, and also alongside that, they have also had quite a few penalties against them in the second half, and Warriors just scored. So obviously that is ideal for the Warriors, of course. And Ezekiel Lindenmouth also just off the field now alongside Latero Tole. So Sam Molly will make his way out there. I'm not doing anything. I feel like this must be Paddy's kill. Well, that one and also the Warriors. And there as well, says Paddy for that one. But currently now, next Tuesday, the Hurricanes, they are going to be playing up against Moana Pasifika. That is a game that we did miss in the earlier stages of Super Rugby. Now, Tamatine goes back across the Tima Whaiana Nuku, dragged down from 40 metres out, round the side, gets up, goes again. I thought he might have been held by Gregory there, but he does continue to drive nicely. Now passing it back across, it's going to be in the hands of the big number 19, and Moana Pasifika lasting 65 minutes, unfortunately. And then see Sammy Sosa and I say, hey, Paddy Wiggins says except in that one as well. And now passing it across, Scott Gregory, bit of a draw and pass out to Mosisi Tawai, breaks a tackle, he's got quick feet, trying to fend off Tima Whaiana Nuku. Not an easy task to be able to do, but he plays for Waikato in the Bunnings NBC. Mosisi Tawai, debut season, and he has been looking very strong in the early stages, and I'm just hoping I can get home in time for the Rebels game, as I can at least change into my jersey, says Amelia. Now currently inside of the 22 match hunt, running it out and kicking it downfield on the right boot. Taken nicely, and Moana will score try in there. Says Kishan, who is your prediction of who will be able to score it? Do let me know. I think Tima Whaiana Nuku, if they score, will be the man who is able to go over the line. Although saying that, Tawatawa Nawai also probably not a terrible choice of an option. Now dropping the head, it's Nakuru. Still available here, 10 metres out from halfway for Moana Pasifika. Chrisapua going forward once again, and also Highlanders look like they will win. And the SS Nova it certainly does at this stage. And that's a nice cross kick from Christian Lealeafano, taken by Tima Whaiana Nuku. Just had to glide a little bit too far forward, so was unable to be able to take it cleanly and had to fall over forwards before getting to accelerate. Now out the back line, I believe that's Sam Molly now. Yes, it is. James Lynch just straight in the breakdown. He's got the clean turnover for the Highlanders. Not great work in the breakdown from Pasifika. And now the Highlanders, it looked like Marino Michaeli too was going to kick that one. Now Scott Gregory puts in the chip and chase. Going to be chasing after this one. Good cover defense there from, I believe it was Lincoln McClutchy, but he's been forced into touch. Gareth Evans, he takes it quickly. And now the Highlanders are going to be continuing going. The Moana Pasifika side caught napping just a little bit. Now backline movement could be on here. Fatulipai flicks it on the inside, messes it up though. And Sam Molly able to claim that one. So a mistake there rather than doing the wide cutout pass, decided to go on the inside. And now it's been turned over by Moana Pasifika. Now they're going for the counter-attack for the Anisi. Now out the back line, like a McClutchy with some quick steps, almost able to break through, but dragged down by Marino Michaeli to Jonathan Tamatine. Now about to offload it back across. Going to be the big number 1, which is Abraham Pole. And also we've got the really interesting to see if Super Rugby or South Africa Rugby Union wants back into Super Rugby at a later point when the pandemic is long gone, despite the slow return to normal. So it's a good question. Although I guess the big thing for them here as well with the URC, it opens up an opportunity for another cup, because not just the URC is what they are competing in. When they get higher up, they get to have a chance at the Champions Cup and the Challenge Cup. So if they're trying to fill the trophy cabinet, that will certainly be the quicker way of doing so, because you got double the chances, or triple the chances, in fact, for South Africa to be able to bring home some sort of trophy But they can take part in the Champions and Challenge Cup from next year onwards, depending on where they finish this year for the URC. And now the Highlanders, they decide against trying to get themselves into the position of going for the 3 points. They've actually got the bonus point currently as we sit for the Highlanders, but Abraham Pole doing nicely going forward. You'd have to say, Falau Fakatava, were the hands down on the ground first. I know that they've been pretty strict at times with blowing those penalties. That one was not one of those times, though. And now the Highlanders have got another opportunity to try and get some sort of rolling maul going forward. You see now they've made another change. I believe that was, I want to say it was Sione Tuipulotu. It's now made his way out there, I should say. Now starting to roll forward here for the Highlanders. Still 5 meters out, breaking off the back. Reece Marshall reaches. Reece Marshall scores. And the Highlanders have got themselves another one. And now they are certainly working their way towards a bonus point win. This will be their first win of the competition. And it was Reece Marshall who was able to score it once again in the 76th minute. He's having a bit of a celebration with his side. And in the last 10 minutes or so, they've just really ramped up the intensity, and they have also been up against a 14-man MOANA Pasifika side. So the discipline side of things in the second half has really been impactful for the way that this result has been going. But Reece Marshall breaks off, goes through the tackle of Tamatine, and does end up going over the line for his second. Everyone wants twos at this stage. I believe Mosisi Dawai, he's got two. Andrew Makaleo, he does not have two, but now Reece Marshall gets himself his second for this matchup. The crowd, they are certainly loving it. Reece Marshall, the super sub for this game. And now only another 3 minutes left for the Highlanders to possibly try and get themselves another one, or MOANA Pasifika to kind of decrease that deficit by a little bit more. Right, Mitch Hunt, this is probably a day with the King T that he'd want to forget. He's got 2 from about 6, I believe, is the kicking. Yep, 2 from 6. Accuracy of 33%. Could try kicking it with the left boot. Maybe see how that goes. Currently lining it up. Just realized that Mitch Hunt, he won't like having this one sit in the way that it is with 33% accuracy. If he gets this over, it goes up to about 42 or something. Pretty bad loss for MOANA in the end, yeah. Really extending their lead for the Highlanders, which has made the result a lot more one-sided than I kind of expected. I knew that the Highlanders would finish well. I didn't realize they'd finish this well. And MOANA Pasifika really have struggled in the last little while, but they will get better as the games go on. Everyone's doing the spirit fingers. I would have thought by now people would realize that that's not working. Chant lines it up. He's got that one. That one's gone over for him. And hey, let's go. Landers finally a win. And well, there is Highlanders' first win as well, says Battywag. And also what's weird with my match attacks is that Mum said that I get, if I get Simon Kia, I can't really pronounce that one, Danish, men's soccer captain, she said that it's hers. But I told her she only gets it if I get him in the double. So maybe an ex-player that she was quite a fan of, perhaps. And that one, or current player, he might be, actually. Now, passing it across. Taken nicely by Aidan Johnson and Highlanders. What a game played. Yeah, they've really come alive in the second half. It was close to halftime. I believe it was 17 points to 10 in favour of the Landers. And now they have been able to extend it to a 20-point lead over MOANA Pasifika, going up for the ball. It's gone backwards. It's going to be play on. Jonathan Tamatine now passing it across. Wide cutout pass from Leka McClutchy out to Tava Nawai. Does cut nicely on the inside. 40 metres out for the line now. Looked to offload, but then decided to hang on to it as literally a lifesaver. He was the first one to attend Eriksson when he collapsed. Yeah, that was a scary moment. That happened, how long ago was that? About 6 months or maybe less than that. And I remember seeing all the headlines about it and everything, and seeing like the match and like just how like sudden and so like kind of freakish it was for that one. And also, yes, because he's a hero that saved the life of Christian Eriksson when Eriksson fainted in the opening game of the Euros last year because he performed CPR. Says Amelia there, and also we have got there. Plus, they got a 5-point win. They certainly did. And did you watch WrestleMania? If so, or if you did, what did you think about it? I did end up watching. I think I've just got the main event left, but I know who wins it because I saw it as like a headline of like a recommended thing for me. But other than that, I watched it all. It was quite cool. I didn't mind it too much. A few surprise moments. They come on MOANA. You can get another try, says Thuffer, and they are going to have the scrum feed. So the Highlanders actually given away 5 penalties in the last little while, but MOANA Pasifika throughout this match, 16 penalties against them for that one. And Paddy says, Richard, I wonder if we're going to get maybe an apology for going so hard at him. And also, he's coming last on the leaderboard, says Richard. Unfortunately, after this game, MOANA Pasifika, sadly, because at this stage, the Highlanders, once they win this game, they will shoot up to 8 points, and they will be right up here. And MOANA Pasifika, they will drop to 12th. So I guess your answer to that one is MOANA Pasifika. So sadly, hopefully they can fight back a little bit more from that. But after that, I guess, yeah, at the end of the day, you're supporting your team, and hopefully your team do extend their way up from the 12th place. And I thought the Jackass match was the funniest match I've ever seen. And there says Music Kiwi, and also, and another she likes about Kaja is because he's a massive AC Milan fan. And there as well, I was like, oh, shut up, Paddy. And there says Richard, that was going to be another knock on from the Highlanders. Plus, I ain't even Highlanders, says Paddy. Yeah, that's the thing. His side's going pretty well. Near the top 8, or in fact, in the top 8. And also, we've got there, well, who was carrying our Highlanders. And there as well, wide cutout pass. And it's going to be a knock on. It goes into touch, and that is going to be the end of the game. Who got the tries there going across the bottom at the moment? It was. And then the Highlanders for Mosisi Dawai, he got 2. Makaleo, he got 1. Marshall got himself the 2. And then Whakatava was able to get the other try. Then from there, it is MOANA Pasifika's try scorers. It was Levi Moore. He was dangerous throughout this game. And also we have got there Tima Whaina Nuku. And also we have got there Dawai Makaleo and Whakatava. And what I can't see, I mean, I don't think you've ever seen Reece Marshall. But his tries by himself, like they at least tie the game with MOANA Pasifika there. So I feel like the logic's slightly flawed for that one, Richard. But good try. In the end, it also we have got there Tougher. I said, still proud of the MOANA boys. And they says Tougher, yeah, they're playing with their hearts on their sleeves. And they are pretty awesome in that regard. And Islanders carrying all of the rugby teams. And there says Richard, and also, yeah, we're all proud of MOANA Pasifika for that one. And also MOANA Pasifika simply got outplayed. Yeah, the penalty count they will not want to remember, because it was about 17 penalties against them throughout this game, which is just a few too many to be having against this side in a match that was so close at halftime. And this was fun. Says Peter there, and Knoxville leaking Sammy's phone number. And there as well, says Amelia, and MOANA can only play 60 minutes rugby, and they need a fitness coach. And I think that's the big difference at the moment between MOANA Pasifika and the Fiji and Rua, because Fiji and Rua seem to be able to go for the 80. I'm a little bit worried about Sakopi Kepu's arm there. And also, very best match. Everyone supporting MOANA source as well. And there it says Mark. And the next game, it's actually going to be on Tuesday. We will be covering that on the channel, and that will be MOANA Pasifika taking on the Hurricanes, which should be a very exciting game. But the next game that we are covering on the channel, it will be the Rebels taking on the Western Force. That is starting in about 43 minutes time or so. We will be live 5 minutes before the kickoff. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. It is that pinned comment up there in the corner. And also thank you, Hamish, for a fine commentary. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate it. And at the end of the day, the Highlanders in the first half, it looked like this game was going to be extremely close. And in the end, it just seemed like it went a little bit downhill. And also thanks, Kiwi Lad, for streaming. No worries at all, Richard. I hope you did enjoy. Even though, yes, MOANA Pasifika lost Tuesday up against the Hurricanes, perhaps they can make it 2 from 2 up against them, which would be pretty awesome to see. Cheers for the streaming. And also, please remember to click like everyone sees, make sure. And also, Fiji and Drua can go 80 minutes but seem to shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, it's the discipline side of the Fiji and Drua that does let them down, because I don't think they've gone many games without a yellow or a red card, which, to be fair, last round, 4 out of 5 teams did end up, or 4 out of 5 games had someone getting a red card in them. Aaron Smith, it's a win in the end, and he will be very happy with that one as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, we will be back a little bit later on. Alongside that, we have also got our Super Rugby 3 games tomorrow, the Sevens tomorrow, the URC tomorrow, and then on Sunday, we have got a combination of the Sevens, the Champions Cup, and possibly a little bit of cricket in the earlier stages of next week. So be sure to check that out. And maybe the back-to-back games for MOANA might be affecting their fitness. And there says Fleshin. And that is a good point. They've got quite a few players that aren't playing in this game that they will have for Tuesday, such as someone like a Henry Stowers. Also, I mean, Sione Tuipulotu coming off the bench was another big one. I think they've got a couple other players in that back line as well that they might end up switching out for that next match, such as bringing in maybe like an Ed Fidel, someone along those lines. And a Rebels win. And this is MH. And also we have got there, see you soon for the Rebels game. Let the rage ensue. I think that's how you say it. Ensue. Just like my foot when I go outside. And the short turnarounds can take its toll on MOANA Pasifika. Yeah, they've been playing a lot of games recently as well, but they're still firing up every single time they get a chance. They are playing some good rugby and it's just putting it together for the later stages of the competition. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all in a very short moment for our next live stream that has taken place between the Rebels and the Western Force. But nonetheless, we will see you all